You know we talk that stick talk, I'm about to fuck this cash up.
Buddy, I'm jonesing to get out there and shoot some content.
Oh, I bet. Well, here we are. We're back.
Here
we are, episode number 9. We've made it to 9.
Number 9, eh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's good. You're consistent with these.
Yeah. Well, it's actually been 2 weeks since we've been on, so I feel like I haven't seen Jay forever because we were seeing each other like weekly.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden weather got somewhat decent and I started working on the car again and I was like, oh my God, this is great. And I forgot what day it was half time and well, here we are 2 weeks later.
One thing I want to drop before we get going is we're actually going to have a special edition of Stick Talk. So Stick Talk number 10 is going to be live and that will be on March 23rd. That's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time and 8 p.m. Are we Eastern, Ben?
Yeah, we're Eastern.
Time, right? Eastern. So 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And it'll be myself, Jay Mack, Garrett Leach, and Phil Fez. So that should be fun.
And finally, the Americans are taking back over, and we'll be outnumbering the Canadians because this is week number 2 of me being outnumbered. Great.
Well, you're still winning overall. There's been more episodes with Americans than Canadians, so
we just do it better, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, with the live episode, I know a lot of people had questions throughout the videos and whatnot, so we figured we'd get the live a go for the next episode. It'll be the first time that I've ever done a live, so everyone will probably have to bear with us, but I think we'll be able to figure it out. It's
a good idea, man. You'll get a lot of extra content from the chat, throwing good questions at you and stuff like that. So that's a good idea. Just give it a try anyways.
Yeah, get some engagement. And if people have questions, which they have on the past podcast, at least they'll be able to hop on and throw some questions out there and see where it goes.
And I could bully people in the comments when I start talking shit.
Yeah.
I see them comment.
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be
true. Actually, when you do it live, I think you need like admins or something, don't you? For the bots and all that sort of jazz, or how's that work?
Yeah, moderator as well. Yeah,
moderator.
Yeah, make me a mod.
You want to be a mod?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Okay, there we go.
In the chat, just click on their name. It'll give you an option to make them a mod. It's the easiest way to do it.
Okay, sweet. So you're going to be our moderator for that night if you can make it.
Oh yeah, I'll be trolling the chat. Don't worry. I got nothing better for Wednesday night.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, there we go. So for anyone that's not familiar, we've got Ben on tonight, Ben from ProTreeVideos. So this will be an episode I guess this won't be the only episode that wasn't directly focused on stick shift because we also had Adam on with the suspension stuff. But we wanted to bring Ben on because Ben's super important to myself. Ben and I have been friends for a couple decades and a lot of fun over the years. And wanted to bring Ben on, just kind of discuss some of the media stuff too, which is super cool. Here he is, Mr. Ben from ProTreeVideos. Thanks for being on, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me, buddy. Appreciate it. And this podcast, man. I mean, I'm a stick shift driver myself. Like, I love stick shift and stick shift racing. So just watching this podcast progress has been pretty cool, man. Keep at it. That's all I can say. Like, you found a niche that has kind of been untapped. So on YouTube anyways, like stick shift related specifically, drag racing, whatever, right? Everybody's got a podcast nowadays, but like this whole stick talk thing, I think is a great idea. So
yeah, we were thinking about naming it Talking Shift first, but we ended up with Stick Talk.
That's a good name.
I don't know if Ben's dialed in on that side of the thing from the world that we're in. There's some controversy with 1320's Shift Talk podcast.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if you're familiar with Alex Flores, tuner from Lund Racing there. I've been following him for years. I'm sure you've seen his stuff, but he's been doing lives for years now, but talking shit. I think he does. Is it Sundays that's talking shit or Tuesday? Tuesday's talking shit. Tuesday. So there's a whole bunch of controversy on that. So I guess if anyone wants the details on that, you can go back a couple live streams. I think actually it's called something 1320, whatever. But yeah, there's a bunch of drama going on there. So
that's kind of where I'm not a fan of 1320 myself for personal reasons, but we'll leave that one. We'll talk about some of the reasons. The more detailed reasons we'll we'll keep that one off the table. But it just there's certain people that belong in a wood chipper, to say the least.
I'm intrigued. I mean, okay, as a media guy, us media guys talk to one another about other media guys, and there's a lot of people that have beef with them. I'm surprised. Like personally, I haven't had an issue with them. Like when I go to events or whatever, but I hear a lot of guys, like other media guys, they got problems with these 1320 dudes. Like mainly the main guys, but I don't know where that beef comes from. Like I'm up here in Canada most of the time, so
yeah,
I don't know what's going on down there. But like usually when they show up, the other guys are like, "Oh fuck, these guys are here." Like it's just a bunch of that. I'm like, really? Like what's going on here? Like they don't tell me much.
In my opinion, the 1320 guys kind of remind me, especially, and I want to definitely talk about this, but we'll ease into it. But just to kind of give you a directive of where we're going to go with this, the 1320 guys kind of remind me of the high schoolers in the parking lot at the car meet when somebody wrecks their shit and the whole group runs over there. And that's kind of another reason I'm not a fan of them. Like I said, along with the wood chipper reasons, but we'll get more into that farther in the podcast. We don't got to start right away at almost under 7 minutes. And I'm already shitting on them.
Well, that was one of the things that came up, and we might as well get into it a little bit, anyways. One of the things was with them documenting crashes and all that sort of stuff. So Jay and I actually had a conversation off air about that because I see both sides, right? Because I know from your side and kind of what your perspective is on that, when it comes to filming drag racing, and then, you know, when accidents happen, filming the accidents, using them as the thumbnails, that sort of jazz. So I know Jay had his perspective on it, and I had my perspective on it, and I was pretty sure where your perspective is just from our history, but
I can give you some more detail. See, that's a sensitive area for everybody. I know, like whenever a crash happens, if it's something serious, like if there's a dude that's like legit hurt, I'm not walking over there. Like until I see a guy get out of the car and walk away, then I'm like, okay, we can go see some aftermath. That's fine. I have a lot of footage on my hard drive that's never seen the light of day because I've talked to the drivers and they've said, hey, Ben, I know you personally. Can you not put that on there? I would appreciate that. Like when Paul Bowan wrecked his dots in that one day. This was like back in like 2019 or something like that, just as an example. I've known Paul for years. So I'm like, hey man, we don't need to put that on the internet. I'll keep it off. And he rebuilt his car and he ended up winning the series a couple years later, whatever. But if a racer comes up to me and like, we have a respectful talk, like, hey man, I cannot put that on the internet. I'm fine with that. That's not a big deal. If I know you and I respect you and we're all cool, but I mean, like if you're a dick and then like I've had some other guys that were like, hey man, like fuck you, don't put that on there. I'm like, oh fuck you, don't do what I want, right? Like you're not gonna be respectful to me. Like there's 20 other cell phones here that are gonna put your crash on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like it's already on the internet, but like you don't need to talk to me. Like I know I have a platform and an audience that you don't want to go viral. I get that, but your shit's already on the internet. Everybody's got a fucking phone on the starting line. It's already gonna be on there. So, but if you want me to keep it out of like the event video or something like that, like I respect that. You know what I mean? Like I can do that for you. That's not a problem. Now, I've had situations where I have left footage out of event videos, like specific event videos, but I put them in crash compilation videos. And I've made that very clear to people that, sometimes it's not a bad wreck. It's whatever. It's just like, it's a fixable situation. Like the car can be fixed. And they're like, hey man, can you leave that in the video? I'm embarrassed by it. I'm like, that's cool. You don't need to watch this next week when I release the video. And then like a month will go by and they'll be like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I'll put it in the compilation and it'll be like at the end of the year compilation. I'll usually make like a 10-minute video or whatever of worst crashes from the previous season or whatever. The reason I make those compilations is for discovery. Now, the amount of subscribers that come in from those crash videos specifically is more than any other videos on the channel. Because viral videos, everybody watches crash videos. Those are the viral videos that will get you discovered. Now, what do those people do? They subscribe to the channel, and then they go and watch my event videos. They go and watch my live streams. They're now a subscriber to the channel. They're part of the community now. They wouldn't have found me without those crash videos. Unfortunately, that's how YouTube works, right? Like, I'm almost in a position where I'm forced to make them, if that makes sense. like, because I'm still kind of small. Like I'm only at 60K. So
Only.
in the grid. I mean, look at some of these guys, right? Like they got millions of subs.
Yeah.
Now last year I did not make a crash compilation, because last year was pretty tame. There wasn't a lot of like big crashes per se. I do have crash footage, but I felt like my previous crash videos were still rolling. I'm like, why put out another one? Like I'm still getting discovery off these old videos. I'm not going to make a mediocre video, you know what I mean? Like whatever, you know what I mean? I just left it. I made like a wheelie video or something like that, just because wheelies are fun. I prefer not to make compilations because it's scene footage. Everybody's seen it. It's okay in the winter time. It's fun to watch a 10-minute compilation, but like for me, it's boring. I'd rather do a live stream. I'd rather watch a fresh event, make a fresh event video, focus on that more. I used to do racer features and like car features and just make a video about one car and whatever, but those videos never really took off. Just the event videos were the only thing that kind of hit. So I'm just sticking with that. But last year I was like, you know what? I don't need to make another crash compilation because I don't really like making them in the first place. It's like, I get it. It's kind of slimy, but you kind of need to do it if you want to be successful on YouTube. You need to have some viral videos on your channel to get that discovery, to pull people in. And then once they're in, you can be like, hey, look at my actual good stuff. And then they become a member of your channel.
Yeah. See, I can understand it from your level. I could totally get that, where it's like, discovery thing. And I was thinking about it after me and Chris had that conversation about it. And I'm like, to an extent, some of the crash footage does serve a purpose, because a lot of guys that are just, younger kids, guys getting into the sport that don't have a history or know the stuff, you think it's all gold and it's great and we're going fast and doing all this shit, and then you do see a crash, and it's the harsh reality of like, this does happen, and sometimes they're bad, like extremely bad. I feel like that's second grade way of explaining it, but it's when you have something larger like 1320 and you have the following, you have the income, you have the subscriber count, but then your every video is wreck, thumbnail in the guy's face, and you're just like, dude,
it's funny you say that. No, I agree. I totally agree.
As fuck. Like you know that yes, you are getting views and it's going viral and you're using that to your advantage. And the person that wrecked, and a lot of the ones that 1320 has posted have been some terrible wrecks, and you're just like, as a racer on my end, if I had to watch myself like without my permission, like, man, I'm seeing myself fucking rolling over, my car getting obliterated, like I'm getting airlifted, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, man, I'm gonna fight a motherfucker. Like, this is bullshit. Like,
I was feeling that exact same way. So not to throw shade at 1320 or any other media guys, but they filmed, what was it? Streetcar Takeover Texas? TX2K. That's what it was. One of our local cars, a black Toyota Supra, went into the shutdown area and couldn't stop, went into the dirt. This dude's never been on 1320 before, and I'm sure it's been his dream to get on 1320 or whatever. Like I've talked to him. I had no preps on my channel in the past because he's from Toronto. He's not far from me. But he took his car to Texas and was putting down some great times. And like, he's a roll racer. Well, he's a drag racer, but he was roll racing there. And he was with a bunch of super guys that I know from here in Toronto. And they made a big deal about this, of him going into the sand at the end of the track. And I'm thinking to myself while I'm watching this video, I'm like, man, this is his moment to get on 1320, a big 3 million subscriber channel. And all they're talking about is how he fucked up. And that's it. They don't talk about anything about good with the car and how good he did or how fast he was going, because he was kicking ass. And there was just
in any of the videos, like other than that being on the sand. I don't know if
that's it. That's all they put. And then the rest of the video was not. They never saw him again, right? And I'm like, this dude had a moment, and they just focused on the bad stuff.
But the crazy part is, some people love that. Like I swear, like
that, views, right? People want to see that shit. I get it.
But like, no, even drivers, like, so an example is that guy that crashed on the street. There was a street racing video probably like 6 weeks ago. It was a Fox body at night. It rolled like multiple times. The guy ended up going to the hospital just to get checked, but he made it back for like, I guess for the finals, to watch the finals. But
I think I watched
like, he was talking, and it was almost like he was, you know, excited to be on the camera. And some people, even when it is something like that, it almost seems like they're just happy that they got on 1320, because I won't sit here and say I wasn't excited when my car was on 1320 at Caches at the Hill, because that, for not everyone, but for me, that was pretty cool to be on 1320 videos. But
you're on a big stage. They have a big platform. They have over 3 million subs. If you're in that footage, you're going to get seen, right? So I just feel bad for the guy, because I know how much time and effort he's put into this car. He's raced so many people on the street. He's raced so many people at the no preps that we go to. He finally takes his car to a big event down in the States, and just, he fucks up, or the car fucks up, couldn't stop. And I'm just like, and they're focusing, and like, they're taking pictures of this guy. He's looking sad. Like, they're telling, oh, that sucks, whatever. I'm just like, oh man, like, what a shitty way to get on a big platform. You know what I mean? Because they're never going to talk to him again. You know, like, and it's just like, and he's going to come back to Canada, and we're like, yeah, we saw your 1320 video. You fucking suck. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, we know he's fast. Like, he's been kicking ass at a bunch of no preps in Grand Bend. I have lots of videos of him, and nobody's going to know that, right? Because they didn't talk to him. They just said, oh man, that sucks. Your shit sucks. Whatever. It's like, they should have said, hey man, what do you do with this car normally? Well, I kick ass at no preps up in Canada. Like, there's, you know, I do this. I race small tire. You know what I mean? They could have talked to him about his car and a little bit about the build and whatever, instead of just saying, oh, shitty, you can't stop.
So, I know we're not a big channel. We're not a big, multi-million follower page, but I think if you don't mind giving the super guy a shout, if you want to just drop his name, and if he has any socials, if we can just give him a quick shout, at least give him some shine so people can know that he doesn't suck. Shit just does happen in racing, and sometimes it's not your day. So
exactly, yeah, it happens. It happens to the best guy. I mean, we've all seen the top racers of no prep, front side, backside, whatever. We've all seen the top guys fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, it just happened to Kai.
Yeah. It's a good example.
Or Casey Max at Digger Die when we were there.
Casey Max. Yeah. Like, I filmed him flipping over. That was, I mean, it looked worse than it was, but still, it happens to everybody, right? All the best guys. And that's part of race. And like you said, like, the kids need to know it's not all sunshines and rainbows. You know, like, you're gonna wad your shit up. Something's gonna fail. Something's gonna break. It's probably not gonna be your fault. Maybe the other lane's gonna come in and hit you. You don't know. Like, it's gonna. Yeah. But you need to be able to accept. You need to be able to accept what could happen when you pull into the burnout box. If you're not ready to accept that you could wreck the car, or, who knows, then you shouldn't be racing in the first place, right?
Absolutely.
Well, and that's what I said. Well, and kind of directly, like, the biggest thing I said to Jay is, when you're in media, when you're 1320, when you're ProTreeVideos, when you're spooled media, you are the news. You're pretty much the news for the drag racing community when you're there documenting those races. So it's no different than CNN or CBC or whatever, Fox. What really drives the clicks and the views to their videos or to any of the content, realistically, is the bad shit, right? And just like you said, those crashes are the ones that drive all the people to the channel to click subscribe and watch your videos, right?
I think there's just a way to do it, though. Like, if you look at Dragzine, how they do their stuff, like, there's a 69 Camaro that just recently wrecked. I can't remember the driver's name, but I know it was a big name driver. It's a beautiful 69 Camaro. It just recently got wrecked, like, in the last 2-3 weeks. But, like, when there's a big wreck like that, like, they'll let somebody know, like, hey, here's a picture of the car before. This is what happened. This is the story. Driver's okay. They're good. Like, they're on the road to recovery. And it's kind of like you're letting people know, hey, this happened if you're a fan of the car, but, he's good. And it's like there's this respectful way of going about it.
There is.
Instead of just shoving a camera in a guy's face and being like, hey, look at this. This is our new thumbnail. I see dollar signs. You know what I mean?
I see that, and I see that with 1320, but with other guys too. Like, when there's a wreck, they'll run down there and they'll just camera rolling. They'll be like, and they'll ask them questions, and I tend to hang back a little bit and just kind of smell the situation, because dude just wanted his shit. He doesn't want to talk to. He doesn't want to do a fucking interview. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to interview the driver after he wants his shit. I'm just going to go down there. Everything's okay. I'm going to talk to my live stream, because my live stream is watching the chat, and the live stream, you're going to hear that in the video, right? So I kind of do 2 in 1. So I'm talking to the video and the live stream at the same time about how everybody's okay. This is kind of what happened, whatever. There, the driver's over there. He's good. I'm not going to go interview him, because that's the worst freaking time to do it. And I see Kyle and other guys doing that, going up, oh man, what happened this, what happened that? And I'm like, and he gets away with it because 3 million subs, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But yeah. I see it as disrespectful. I'm not going to do that. I just don't think it's right.
You just see that one driver just be like, get the fuck out of my face. Fuck off. Like, there needs to be that one driver that when he runs up there with a camera, just like, get the fuck out of my face.
Well, like, it could have happened in the past. You don't know, because interactions like that obviously wouldn't get put in the video. So it's possible that could have happened in the past, right?
We can only hope that it has.
I mean, and to go back on the thing, like when I see, so I kind of have a strategy when I go into these races now. If I'm going into a big race where there's other media guys like 1320, I know they're going to look for the big guys like the Casey Maxes and whoever, the Jeff Thomases, whoever. They're going to look for those guys. They're going to interview it. So I kind of have to look at it like, okay, how can I make my video different from these guys? Because nobody's going to watch the same video twice. So I'm going to pay attention who Fred's talking to and all the other guys, whoever's there. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm taking inventory of who you got. Now let's talk to some people who they're not talking to. Let's talk to some unknowns. Let's talk to some cars who I know who are fast that might go rounds. So, and some local guys that I know too, right? So I'll kind of try and mix it up that way. And I try and talk to different people every single event. So like when I'm filming Detroit Hit TV, I'm probably going to film like 3 or 4 of those events. So the first event, I'm going to interview ABCD. And then the next event, I'm going to interview some different people. And I'm going to make sure I do different people every single event to try and hit cars that we've never met before, meet some new shit. And then whoever's going rounds, obviously I have to follow who's winning and who's losing. And more often than not, some unknowns are going on in rounds, right? So I'm going to go after those unknowns, while 1320 is just going to follow around Casey Max and ask him about his fucking day again. Like I'm going to go to this weird car that nobody's ever seen before, and this unknown guy and whatever. And I get a lot of comments about that in my YouTube comments saying, "Hey, I like these videos because you interview people that we don't normally see. Like we know all these guys from 1320, but you're interviewing these cars that are in the same race in the same class, but nobody's talking to them because they're not superstars, right?" So that's kind of my angle when I go into these races. I kind of see what other media is there, and if they're bigger than me, don't interview the people they're interviewing. And if certain people go rounds, obviously we're going to talk to some of the same people. It's going to happen. But I'm going to try my hardest to be different than what they're doing, because that's all I got.
It's a good angle on it, honestly. Because that was actually, it was funny. I had commented that on their coverage of the Wisconsin Outlaw Stick Shift Challenge, and my comment had gotten deleted on their posts, because now I'm going to give him a little bit of shine on here too. Although he is a rival of mine, he's whooped my ass plenty of times at these stick shift events. I want to give a big shout out to Victor Gomez with the Shelby GT500 that was in the, I believe it was the B class at that race, and we usually race at Streetcar Brawl. A lot of local events that have stick classes, even hops up at True Street. Great guy, works his ass off. Him and his son go out there, they kick ass. They got multiple vehicles they field. And, you go see the event footage of that, and 1320 is following around Grubworm all day, which, okay, yeah, he's a badass, don't get me wrong. Following Grubworm, I think what his name is, Sean Madden, NXT Shift or whatever it is, the Corvette, following him around, Speedy Petey, all them guys. The same guys over and over and over, and the whole video is just like a compilation of like, how's your day going? How's your day going? How's your day going? Meanwhile, guys like Victor, Jonathan with the Honda Civic that actually won that event that beat Grubworm, like, these guys were busting their ass, and these are local guys to me that work night and day, put in the effort, and they didn't even get a little, even 5 seconds of shine of like, hey man, respect, dude, you're kicking ass.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it gets old seeing the same people doing the same shit. Like, how many beater bomb videos do we need? Realistically, how many do we need? You know, there's guys out there that are busting their ass that deserve that little, even if it's 5 seconds of like, here's a video of your pass going down and a quick driver interview. Have a good day. You know what I mean?
And that's what I do at Dig or Die. If you've watched my Dig or Die videos, I love the way they stage the cars, because they have this huge long shutdown and they stage all the cars there, and you can fit like 50 cars back there.
Tons. Oh yeah.
And I see the Casey Maxes, the Turbo Johns, all the big names there, and I just walk past them, and I'm like, because who cares? Everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody knows their shit. And I'll say something about them. I'm like, oh, there's Casey Max. He's got this ProTreeVideos setup or whatever fucking setup he's got. And I'll walk and I'll see, oh, look, this fucking weird Chevette. Let's talk to this guy with this weird blue Chevette. Like, this is cool. And then he'll tell me about this cool big black Pro Charge motor that he put in it. And everybody's like, ooh, this is something different, right? Like, we never heard of this guy before or whatever, right? And it's just, I'll just try and find people who we've never seen before, because I've watched every friggin' video on the internet, 1320, spooled media, you name it. I watch all that stuff. So if I can find a car that is new, you know what I mean, unknown, it's content. You got to get that content. You got to get the new stuff, right? Like that's what I'm looking
different.
I'm saying be different, right? Because nobody wants to watch the same video twice. You know what I mean? Like when I watch 1320, you know, if I watch their coverage of a race, I'm not going to watch Joe Blow's content from the same race, because I've already seen it. You know what I mean? Like, unless they have a different angle of it. And if I know that channel is going to be different than 1320, then I'm going to watch it, right? And I've been getting a lot of feedback about that. People are saying, hey man, like, I feel like I watch a different video when I watch your videos, because you're not following whoever 1320 is talking to, right? And I found that to be really beneficial for me when I'm at big races that have other media. Now, this year, I'm kind of being a little more strategic with that. I kind of have the northern market kind of cornered. If I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn here, but if I can go to Detroit, if I can stay up in Canada, I can kind of do better. I can get more views on my videos because I'm showing you stuff that other media is not at. And if I can go to an event where there's not much other media, you're going to watch my video. You know what I mean? Like 1320's not there. These other big channels aren't there, especially in the Canadian races. Like there's nobody in Canada that does this other than me. There's a couple of small channels, but like there's no big media up here. So
well, that's part of it right now. As I see a lot of these big races now, there's so much media, like Texas 2K. How many media platforms were there, right? And I seen one channel was getting a little grouchy and posting out there that, oh, I spent all this time getting here and all this money and I'm only getting this many views. And it's like, but if you're doing the same thing as everyone else, and especially the big guys, like how can you, like Ben said, you're going to watch one, because I do the same thing. If there's an event on, usually I'll watch it. And if it's Texas 2K, it's probably going to be 1320's video, because the other 8 or 10 media platforms, you know, not saying they're not doing a good job, but it's just the one that's going to be in front of me, and it's the one I'm used to, and that's the one I'm going to watch. And one thing I know that Ben has done differently than some of these big channels is, well, I'll say first off, the lives. Like, I don't know, Jay, if you've watched any of Ben's lives, and he's doing live, like you can't beat Ben's live coverage. You just really can't. There's been multiple times where I've watched races where there'll be people there that are live, and I'm just like, I'll say, Lindsay, I'm like, I wish Ben was there right now, right? because Ben's moving around, right? He's walking around. So if there's downtime, he's walking around. He's talking to drivers. He's going through the pits. He's going to buy a hot dog, right? Like it just he's staying engaged because when you're just sitting there and it's dead air, it's like
he stays orientated to the event though. Like, so don't get me wrong, I love No Prep Felons. They're badass. I like that they also do the live stream thing, but. Man, I got one clip of the live stream at MKE, and I was in the stick class, and the dude's telling a story about some chick's Audi that like he was dating or something. I'm like, brother, we're about to race. Like, we're on the 2-step on the line, me and this Turbo Civic. And it's like, now's not the time to be talking about that. Cover the event, dude. Focus up. Let's go. So I could definitely say I appreciate your lives a lot, Ben. No
Good.
disrespect to No Prep Felons. I do like what he does as well. He's a cool guy, but focus up a little bit, man.
Hey, the lives, honestly, for me, I have more fun when I'm live. If I'm not live, it's still fun. I'm still having a great time. But when I'm live, chat is always there. So like I've made my setup so like I have my big camera and then I have my cell phone right next to it. And my cell phone is right below my viewfinder for my big camera. So when I'm filming, I'm looking in the big camera. In my peripheral vision, I'm reading chat right directly under it. And having chat in there just shooting the shit with me makes it so much more fun and makes me more gives me, I don't know, gives me more courage, I guess. Like, because I can walk up to any camp and just be like, I got 1,000 people in my phone right now and be like, hey, let's go talk to this guy, let's see what's talking, you know what I mean? Like, I feel a little more on, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's a wingman. It's a digital wingman.
Right. Yeah. It's somebody to talk to. And I find when I have somebody to talk to, I'm just more talkative. I'm just more social. I just feel more comfortable. And having a live stream there is just way more fun. And even when it's like Chris said, like sometimes I get hungry, I got to go get a hot dog, like, or a hamburger or whatever. Right? Like, I'll just go there and I'll talk to chat. But like, okay, we got this and we got that. What should we get, guys? What should we eat? Right? Like, and it's just it fills the downtime because there is a lot of downtime during races. Whatever, if there's an oil down, if there's a wreck, if there's anything, a boring class is up, or is it, what I mean? Anything.
Hard tire.
Or whatever. There's always downtime. And usually when I'm watching other streams, it's like we just sit there and just watch the mops. I don't want to watch somebody mop.
Yeah.
So that's when I walk around and bother people. And I tell chat, I'm like, all right, let's go bother some people. And I'll just walk into a camp and I'll just be like, usually at this point in the game, everybody knows me. They know what I'm about. So when I walk into their camp, they know what to expect, which is great. Because I don't want to be awkward. I don't want you to feel awkward when I come around. Just know that I'm there with chat and we're just here to see racing. And I'm going to ask you, how's it going? What's going on this round? What'd you break? What are you fixing? What's going on? Right. Like, and sometimes they're just having a beer waiting for the next round and we'll just talk shit. And that's content to me. Sometimes I enjoy that more than the actual racing because we could get in some funny conversations sometimes. Right. Like, I don't know. It's just, live streaming just makes it more fun for me. And that's why I do this. This is for fun, right? So
you've stepped it up. You've got some new gear for this year too, I guess.
I do have a little bit, yeah. I got some new software, and the new software does have the ability to zoom in. So instead of just being on my cell phone, you're going to be piped into my main camera. So like what you see, like zoom in and out, like from my main camera, like in my edit videos, is what you're going to see on the live stream, as well as replays. I'm able to do replays now. So if something happens and we want to replay the video, I can replay it, and then it saves the replay.
Corey does that from Schooled Media too, with the replays.
Yeah, I really like that part exactly of it. Same thing. And the replays, it's nice because the replays will save themselves on the phone. So like, let's say 3 hours later, we're talking about that one race that was so good. I can pull it up and actually show you the replay of that race, live.
That's super badass. I always wondered how Corey did that too.
It's all software. So I've been playing with new software, doing a lot of testing. I'm going to test it next weekend at US 131. I have no clue how the service is going to be there. It says there's 5G. As long as there's 5G, we're fucking golden, but we'll see how it is. I'm going to use that software for the first time. Yeah. If it turns into a shit show, I'll just revert back to Streamlabs and just do a regular live stream like I do. I have that backup just in case it doesn't work out. I'll just do it the old way again. It's no problem. But I am excited for this new software. It's going to be more fun for the stream.
You're going to be able to see cool with the zoom.
And the zoom is going to make a difference, a huge difference, right? You're going to be able to see who wins.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's nice when you don't see who wins too, because then it's just you're getting excited waiting to hear the call, right? But at the same time, the zoom's pretty sweet to have on the live. Exactly. And the replays, like that's sick.
I'm not going to do the big end cameras on the live. I don't want to cross that line. I'm going to save those for the edited videos. I'm going to give people a reason to watch the edited videos. I don't want to buy a bunch of streaming gear to broadcast signals friggin' half track and back again. That's just too much. So I will have the big end cameras. I'll have 4 trackside cameras. That's only going to be for edited videos. I'm just going to keep it like that because apparently I'm the only guy who does that. Like 1320 puts a guy at the end of the track, which is fine, but nobody else actually has tripods set up at the big end. So, and I've been getting a lot of feedback. Like, the only reason I watch your videos is because there's so many camera angles. And I'm like, I find it boring to watch without camera angles. So, I mean, that's great. But, yeah. Like,
yeah, it's nice because you can see actually how close it is at the end with those.
And if there's no timing system, you're going to need that finish line cam so you can see the gap. You know, like you need those cameras there. And if you don't have them, if you're just a one cameraman, like a one camera angle thing, like, sure, that's cool, but I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean? Like, I like camera angles. I just like having that. Maybe I'm spoiled. I don't know. I
think it's pretty cool, man. It's good to have more coverage and have all different angles because one, you're covering all the bases where it's like, okay, if it's a close race, you know, like you said, you have that finish line footage, you have the start line, you have mid track. You're also able to help out the event promoter if they can't find a good angle of who won what race. You're able to step in and be like, got it, here you go.
That's
so now
happened.
You're also an asset to the promoter. Not
exactly.
That, but it's. I mean, you're. That's what it comes down to. Is you're an asset at the end of the day. You're not just another, track video guy. You're actually there and like have use for being there.
Well, we had a situation at Detroit at TV. It was the all-wheel drive class. I think it was their finals, and the finish line guy wasn't there, but my cameras are rolling the whole time. And he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, my finish line guy wasn't there. Can I look at your footage and see who won this class?" And I was like, "Sure." So I just went to the end of the track, swapped the memory cards, gave it to him. He took it to his trailer, put it in his laptop, and was able to figure out the winner. So I mean, it was a rare situation that the guy was at the end of the track, but it did happen, and I was able to save him on that. So I mean, for sure, yeah, you're right.
It's kick ass.
It was good. But
what got you into wanting to do this? Actually, what because I know you're wrong. There's a lot of guys that will see a lot of the big video guys, TRC and obviously 1320 and shit like that. And they'll be like, man, that looks cool. I want to do it. And they lose this theme very quickly. They go to a couple street races, they whatever, try to record whatever they can record, and then the steam dies off. What got you into it, and what keeps your passion going for it?
I've been doing it longer than those guys. Chris can back me up on that.
Oh,
yeah.
I started doing this in 2001, and originally I was posting street racing videos on my website because YouTube didn't exist back then. And this predates 1320 video, like all that shit. But it was up here in Canada. So and we were into imports back then. So import drag racing in Canada, nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it was just us. And so whatever. We were filming street racing. I was posting it on a website called guelphracing.com. That was our car club. We were, me and Chris ran that car club for like 10 years. And we just street raced. And then we used to go to the track sometimes and race CSES events, the local sport compact series. That's still going up here. And in 2019 or 2018, 2019, around there, I was like, I decided to take YouTube seriously. I'm like, you know what? Let's try and make a business out of this, because I was just doing it for fun. So in 2020, I rebranded the Guelph Racing YouTube channel into ProTreeVideos and decided to go hardcore YouTube, film event videos, racer features, all that shit, whatever. And if street stuff happened, sure, but it was mostly track stuff. And it was just a decision that I made to, at that point, I had gotten married, we had kids, we were living life, and I was like, you know what? I miss the car thing. Let's get back to the track. We'll try and make something out of this YouTube channel.
Yeah, because you took a break, right? How long was that break?
I took a 6-year break.
Damn.
Yeah. So from 2012 to 2018, there's no uploads. And then 2018, I made my first upload again. And my very first comment was from an old subscriber. And he was like, really? 6 years later, you upload again? And I'm like, I'm back, baby. Let's do this. And I rebranded the channel because Guelph Racing didn't fit. Guelph is the city that me and Chris live in. And back in the day, we were into street racing. There was other websites like TorontoRacing.ca and whatever. And we used to go to Toronto a lot and street race with those guys. So we were Guelph racing, and then guys from around would come street race us, and whatever. We hung out at coffee shops and shit. But I'm like, you know what? This doesn't make sense. You can't really put it on a shirt because nobody knows what it means. So I'm like, so I had to come up with kind of a unique name. I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? I film heads up drag racing. Okay, ProTreeVideos. Let's do it. So long story short, rebranded the channel in 2020. And it's just been up since then. Like, the channel's just been taken off, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, man. Like, honestly, it's just a ton of fun to get out there with the boys, because we got so many friends that have race cars. You know what I mean? Like, so many no prep guys that we know, like Trevor, Mike, all those guys, all those Windsor guys. We're hanging out with Alex, those guys. We know so many people in the industry that it's just a fun time to get out of the track with these guys. Like, I'm in my 40s now. You know what I mean? Like, getting out of the track and having some fun with the boys, doing race car shit. Like, that's awesome. Like, for me, it's something that I would do for free, because it's just fun. Makes me feel 20 again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's right now, I'm just enjoying it. We're just going out on the weekends, doing whatever, and getting to the States and all the American events. Like, man, like, that shit's on another level. Like, we have cars up here that can compete, but not a lot. You know what I mean? We got handfuls of cars here and there. You go down to the States and they got full fields of like fully competitive cars. And it just blows my mind, because I haven't grown up with that. Like, I haven't had that luxury. So, I mean, like, I'll drive 6 hours to an event happily, into Michigan or wherever, fucking Kentucky, who cares? Like, I'll go anywhere, just because I know the quality of racing that I'm going to see, the content is going to be on another level. And it's been great for the channel. It's really brought a lot of new viewers to the channel, because filming the American stuff brings in all those American viewers. And then I can take those viewers to some Canadian events, and I'll be like, hey, this is how we do it up in Canada. And nobody else up here is filming it. And, they're getting exposed to that. And and that's kind of how I've been different with that. But I'm kind of going off in left field here. Like, we started a long time ago. Like, me and Chris, back in like the early 2000s, back in the old Fast and Furious days, we were pretty heavy into that, man. Like, every night we were street racing. It was.
Oh yeah, it was big here. Now there's no scene, but back then it was huge.
Dude, as soon as we left, as soon as we stopped doing it, nobody else took over. It just died. And then when I came back in like 2018, I'm like, all right, let's do this again. I looked around. I'm like, there's nobody here. It's just me.
Well, it was funny because Ben called me in, I think it was 2020. So it would have been COVID times. And he called me because he had gotten back to filming the stuff. And I was watching it, and I was still doing my thing. I had the Mustang, I had a bunch of different stuff over the years, and just kind of doing my own thing. But I never really left the scene. But then, Ben called me in 2020, I think it was. And he's like, hey, you want to come help me film a street race in Windsor? And I kind of laughed, right? I'm like, okay, bud, there's no street racing in Ontario anymore. Like, and he's like, no, these guys are legit. It's going to be legit, right? And I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, trust me on this. I'm like, all right. So then that was really what got me like kind of into this scene now, and kind of where we are today, is because I went down with Ben to that event and got there, and I was like, holy shit, this is legit. Since then it's fallen off, but that street race down in Windsor in 2020 was pretty good. I think when the night started, there was probably like, I don't even know, 30 cars maybe. I don't know, maybe not that much. I don't know. It was quite a bit, yeah. And
then the cops chased us out of there, and we found a good spot after that, and we got it done. It was good. That was the first ever filmed Canadian cash days, like structured cash days, and I was very, very proud to film it. Like, I had no clue what I was doing to film a cash days, because we just used to film street racing. It was just like, I would just upload clips back in the old school YouTube days, because you couldn't upload more than 10-minute long videos back in old school YouTube. So it was just like clip. Nowadays, I upload full ass movies, right? So when we film this cash days, I'm like, okay, I got to make it like an hour video here. I got to talk to people. We're on the street. I have to blur faces. I have to blur license plates. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I actually messaged Kyle from 1320 Video. I'm like, Kyle, man, like, what are the legalities here that I have to look out for? And he was like, he actually answered me. Like, this is the first time I ever talked to the guy back in 2020. And he's like, well, I don't know Canadian law, but in America, like, they need three things. They need who it is, when it was, and where it was. So if you can hide that information, you're good. Nobody's going to come after them. Nobody's going to come after you for the footage. So that's what I did. Like, I was blurring out street signs. I was blurring out license plates. I was blurring faces that I was talking to. Obviously, the spectator crowd, I wasn't blurring it because it's not illegal to watch traffic on the street, right? But yeah, the first caches I ever filmed, I was like, I was scared when I uploaded that video. Like, am I going to get a call from the OPP about this? And nothing ever happened. Nothing. So it was perfect. Still up.
Badass.
It was good.
Yeah, I'll link that down in the comments for anyone that wants to go and watch some Canadian cash days, and it's cash days with an EH, right? A's.
I'm gonna have to watch that now. I gotta see that.
It's an older video. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
The older stuff is better. That right there is where I will give 1320 some shine. Their early days when they're doing the Chi-Town King of the Streets videos and the old school TX2Ks. Those videos were the shit. And the old school 405 cash days, those were like the badass videos. But then I don't know what happened. They got really YouTube-y and tried to be like, I don't even know. They tried to be like everybody else, like Street Speed, like Cletus, all them guys. It's like that YouTube-y, like mushy, cheesy ass content. You're just like, dude, this is such horse shit. Like, it's so fake.
Yeah. It's not really street anymore.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is there's really nobody. I mean, the video channels that are street, I mean, Valley Racing, Desert 1320, like guys like that.
I love Desert, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
660 Street, man. I love Richard's stuff.
660 Street.
That guy's killing. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. every time one of those videos come up, I'm watching. Like, his videos are good.
I really wish the way he promotes events, like whether it's street or, whether it's the hard tire guys, daily drivers, like, I really wish guys would take more notes for how Richard does what he does. And that shit would expand in the country. Because, man, I'm telling you, we've talked about it plenty of times. Just whether it's street race promoters or event promoters, at least here in the Midwest, it is very downhill. It is not good.
Really?
It's let's suck everybody's ass that's on a 28 tire and has a turbo LS box body. Those guys are going to make 35 test hits, and the slow cars are going to grudge race. And the cops are magically going to show up after the two slow cars grudge race. And we're going to blame everything on them. Not 35 box bodies with fender exits and zoomies and shit.
Yeah.
Well, Richard's been doing a lot of that streetcar stuff. He actually just posted a small tire cash days the other day, which he even said, he's like, it's been a while since I've done one of these. And
it's nice.
It's cool. It's cool because I like watching both. I like watching the streetcar stuff. I don't care if it's not the fastest stuff. It's the no trailer stuff that he does is badass.
The thing is, you got to have love for the grassroots guys too. It's going back to that. Everybody sees the Casey Maxes, the Beater Bombs. Everybody knows those guys. The grassroots guys need love too. It's like everybody's working hard, whether you have a 12-second car or you have a 7-second car. To some extent, everybody has earned the money, has put in the work to build these cars that everybody does. Don't get me wrong. I am not one of those respect all builds kind of people. Fuck that shit. But there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that have earned what they have and deserve that little bit of like, hey man, here's an event for you to participate in. Come out and race. If you go rounds, fucking badass. You're not gonna have to worry about. Well, I'm gonna show up to this race and I'm gonna get paired with Beater Bomb and I'm gonna get my shit kicked in. Like, it's nice to have that variety.
For sure. Yeah, I find personally the smaller events are way easier to film because I can kind of make up the storyline. Like if I go to a race that has, let's say, 20 car field, everybody's unknown. Fuck, easy. So I'll go to whatever cars that I feel like are competitors. It's pretty easy to tell who can go around and who can't. And it's just like, once you interview kind of everybody in a smaller field, you can kind of pick out a story, and if the next round, if that interesting story goes to the next round, you can follow them, right? You can say, hey, all right, this is working out. Let's talk about this, right? And then they kind of they're becoming somebody, right? Like there was a lot of people there was a couple of frontside no preps that I filmed last year at Milan, and they've never been filmed before, but there's a lot of unknown cars that go to those events. So like I'll just kind of talk to these people who have never been talked to before, and I'll just learn about their setups, and they're actually pretty badass, and maybe they'll go to the finals or whatever, right? But it doesn't matter if they win or not. It's the story to get there, right? And if you're a viewer and you're enjoying their story to get to the finals of the race, whether they win or lose, they've won. You know what I mean? Because you know, if I can build, you know, I've been building this platform for a while, so it gets a little bit of views. But like, if I can find a good story in a smaller field, for me, it's way easier to film. I can put more cameras on the cards, so the footage will be better. Like if I go to Dig or Die, there's fucking 100 cars. I got 10 GoPros. There's no way I'm going to be able to cover the field. So I'll usually save the GoPros for like the semifinals and finals and just leave it at that. But if it's a 20 car field, I can line half that field with cameras, right? I only need half the field. And the other half of the field is the other car. So my footage is going to look more in depth. So my video is going to be better. And I find that those videos perform a little bit better than the bigger event videos that I shoot, that 1320 video goes and other shows from other media guys go to. So, I mean, like when I hear a field that's like 20 cars and everybody's kind of disappointed, I'm like, that's perfect. Like, fuck, I'm going to hit that because I know I'm going to do better as a media guy because it's, I don't know. I've just found that it's the smaller events, they're a little more intimate. And that intimacy makes it a little bit better. I
think it's less confusing too when you do that, because I've even noticed with my videos, I find my videos by racing locally that I film, those videos do better than the ones at the big events. Right?
You know, like when I film Pro Street 519, I'm 50K views, easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if I go to an event that 1320 is at, I really have to work damn hard to get those 50K views, like damn hard. And when I go to Dig or Die, I farm at Dig or Die, like no problem, 100K plus, but it's Dig or Die. You know what I mean? Like if you put Dig or Die in the name, people are going to watch it. But if I put Pro Street 519 in the name, nobody knows what that is in the States. You know, some people do, but like nobody really knows. So I have to come up with like a clickbait title, like Americans cleaned house in Canada or something like that, right? Like I got to get you in somehow. And then it's going to be, you're going to watch this and you're like, oh, there's actually a lot of small tire cars in Canada. I didn't know that, right? Like, you know,
well, that's the thing is your stuff's brought a lot of exposure of the Canadian racers and vice versa. And we've had a lot of Americans come up here and race, right?
And that's been my goal this entire time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've met a lot of people, obviously, from the U.S. and with your platform and you sharing my stuff, people have found me through you and vice versa. And it's great for the sport. Even the small media channels that are out here doing this, I got to give props to really everyone because they're taking their time to showcase what we're doing and getting it out there and building all these connections and whatnot.
Absolutely. Like even like we got a couple of small channels up here that, you know, just do the local stuff. They don't cross the border, but just them coming out, you know what I mean? Like, and I tell them like, because sometimes when I go to a race, they're like, oh, if I known you were here, I probably wouldn't have come. And I'm like, buddy, I want you here because the more cameras we have on this race, the more exposure it's going to get. We need exposure. Like we need drag racing to get there. You know what I mean? Like it's not where, because I go to all these American racers, I see, or American races, and I see all the car counts, I see all the spectators. I'm like, we could do this. We just need more exposure. So we need more channels. We need more people come up. And I encourage these guys like Tetanus and whatever. I encourage them to come up. You know, like he was talking about not coming to the May 3rd race in Cayuga. I'm like, buddy, come out, man. Film it. Do your thing. Like we need more cameras on these races. Like I don't want you to see me as competition. I want you to see me as a collaborator. Like we can collab. You know what I mean? I don't care how many subs you got. Like let's collab. Let's you know what I mean? Like I'll put you in my video, you put me in your video. We're cool. It doesn't matter how many views one gets over the other. We just need this whole sport to grow. Because if the sport grows, we get more cars, we get more spectators, we get more content. More content means our channels get more, right? It's an economy. We got to feed each other's economy. You know what I mean? We have to work together to get this economy to grow, put drag racing up on the pedestal belongs, right? So, and it's tough to do that here, right? So,
well, collaborating is such a huge thing, right? Like, and you know, I've seen it. There's the guy out west, that track channel, I think he's called, and he's been doing it for probably a year now, and he's doing a lot of moving around the U.S. and and film a lot of stuff there. But I've watched his channel grow so quickly. But I've also seen a lot of the big people putting his shit out there. Like he's had 1320 pushing him. He's had Bill from Old Man Garage pushing him. Yeah. He's had Tess pushing him. Jimmy Dale. I'm not like, it must be, I guess, a relationship he's built with these people, but I've watched his channel. Like he puts good videos out. He does great cinematic stuff. Like his cinematic stuff is great to be in the videos. I love it. But just goes to show, really, when you get pushed by some of these big platforms, how far it can take you, like in growth. Like Beater Bomb's another example. He got into the YouTube game just recently here, and obviously he had a big following.
He's late to the party. He's late,
but did you see what happened just from the Cletus race? Like he was at like 20,000 subs or 25,000 subs within like 2 days. I think he was almost at 50,000 subs. Like just from that exposure, the collaboration.
Anything Cletus related is going to get views. Even if you put his car in your thumbnail, it's going to get automatic views. But
yeah, but don't do that. Some fucker did that the other day. They put actually his face, like how he does with the outline. And I think it was the guy that tunes his regular cap Dodge TRX or whatever it is. But I thought it was a Cletus video. And I'm like, oh, I clicked on it. And then I went, and I'm like, you fucker, you scammed me, right? And I'm like, I'm out, right? Like,
so I found personally, like when I filmed the World Cup finals, I put Leroy in my thumbnail because it was a stick shift class for that video. And it did better than most of the other class videos that I put out because I put fucking Leroy in it. But it's only a short-term thing. It's only for like a week or two. And then people realize it's not a Cletus video and they don't come back. So I found that, and it's the same with Street Racing Channel. I found putting them in your thumbnails does not help your channel because the viewers of those channels only want to watch those channels. They don't want to watch other channels. And just like you said, it is kind of a scam. And I agree. And I've tested it with my own videos and I've realized that, you know, like putting SRC or Cletus or whatever in your thumbnails gets you some views, but does not get you subscribers. It does not work. So your best bet is just make the thumbnail the best for your video. You know what I mean? Just find like a hook, you know, whatever your video is about, find a hook, find something interesting, use that. Don't worry about who's in your race. Definitely interview them if you can. Like when I went to Cash Days at the Hill, I interviewed Billy and Tommy. Obviously they were there and I talked about it in the intro. We're going to go talk to Billy and Tommy because fuck, why not? We're here. It's Ohio. It's their local race. So of course I'm going to talk to them. And Billy ended up winning that one race, or tailgate. So, I mean, he was relevant to the video, but I felt like all those views were for people who wanted to watch the event, not SRC viewers. You know what I mean? SRC viewers were waiting for their video and that's it. All my views just came from people who wanted to see the event. So for me, putting a big YouTuber in your thumbnail is just a waste. It doesn't work out. And that track channel, like he put out a post complaining about, you know, traveling and stuff like that. He was really frustrated because his videos weren't performing. His later videos weren't performing as he expected after traveling so far away. And I put a comment. I'm like, listen, man, like you're in a part of Canada that I've never been to before. I would love to see what you got out there. I would love to see what's out west because, you know, you're way closer than me. I'm like, why don't you
know what's out there?
Yeah. Like you right now you're going, and I said this in the Facebook comment. I'm like, you're hitting events that are other big YouTubers are hitting. So you're basically dividing up the views between all of your communities because all of those communities, and I learned this at the World Cup, all of those communities will only watch their YouTubers. They're not going to go to my channel for World Cup content. They're going to go to other channels that have been filming the World Cup for the last 10 years. So I will get a little taste of that action, but I'm not going to get anything that's going to pay for my trip. You know what I mean? Like when we went to the World Cup, me and Chris, we had a great time. It was a bucket list race. You know what I mean? Like World Cup was amazing. Am I going to go back? Probably not, because I have to spend a lot of money on that race. I have to, you know, the hotel, the tickets, the gas, everything. And what am I going to get in return? It's not going to pay for it because my community doesn't care about the World Cup finals. They want to watch no prep. They want to watch Milan heads up. They want to watch whatever, mostly no prep stuff. But so I put in that, I said, listen, man, like right now you're going to these races, you're sharing your views with other content creators. Maybe go to races that nobody has seen before. You know what I mean? Go to out west, go to middle of Canada. Like you're out in Manitoba right now, you're in Winnipeg. What's out there? I want to know what's out there. And why don't you show us that stuff? I guarantee you this new audience that you've built up, you know, over the last whatever years, like you said, Chris, he's been getting shout outs from like Bill, the old man, Kyle 1320, all that stuff. Like he's built a community now. Take that community
which a lot of people don't even get that push, right? So to me, it kind of bothers me when that happens, because Jimmy Dale was doing the same thing. He put a post out there like, oh, this video didn't get that many views, and I commented on one, and I'm like, listen, dude, like you've been doing this for less than 2 years. I'm like, you're getting on average 50, 60,000 views a video, like,
which is great.
Awesome. You know what I mean? Like there's people that have been doing this longer that
he's only got a 40K sub count. If you're getting 50K views, that's more than your sub count. That's big. Yeah. That's a successful video.
He does well, but he was getting down on himself, and it's like, dude, like people would like
he wants
having but he had a lot of big push too. Like not that obviously like his videos are great. He's a great character and people are watching shit, but definitely with Bill and SRC and everyone pushing him, got him that kickstart, and he's doing phenomenal.
Editor. Yeah, his edits, his intro edits are probably the best in the business. When it comes to the actual event coverage, that's debatable. But I told him, like, your editing is bar none the best. You're able to make daily uploads when you go to an event. A lot of people can't do that. I can't do that. But I mean, you've built up a little bit of a community. Take them where nobody else is. Take them where you're the biggest YouTuber.
Yeah.
And I bet you'll be getting 50, 60, 70,000 Ks of video at those no-name events. You're going to see new cars that people have never seen before. And you're going to see new racetracks that people haven't seen before. You're going to see new everything. Everything's going to be new. You know what I mean? Like the 1320 video audience isn't going to watch your video over 1320s. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter if you drove 24 hours. They're not going to watch your shit, because they're diehard 1320 or whoever, spooled media, it doesn't matter. But I mean, if you take them to Canada, they're going to watch your shit because they're going to be curious. They're going to be like, what the fuck's in Canada? Like, what the fuck's in Manitoba? And they're going to see all these.
Especially now that he's got that following, right? Like,
right?
He brings that following there now.
That's exactly what I've done with my channel. After the last 2 years of filming in the States, literally doubled my sub count. I'm now taking these people to St. Thomas Dragway, Grand Bend Motorplex, to Toronto Motorsports Park, and I'm saying, hey, look, this is actually what we've been doing up here for years, guys. Like, check it out. Those videos perform so much better than some of the American stuff. Some, all right. Most of the American stuff will always do better, just because there's just a bigger audience down there. You can't beat it. But I mean, I don't know. I was just trying to offer that guy some good advice. And I don't think he took it. I think some of these media guys, they do it for the wrong reasons. If you're not willing to do it for free and willing to do it for fun, it's not gonna be good for you.
You gotta enjoy it, because you're not gonna make a ton of money.
You're gonna hate the numbers. You're gonna hate what you gain from it. Like, this has to be a passion. This has to be something that you're willing to do in your spare time for free. And if you're not willing to do that, it's gonna translate in your videos and it's gonna suck. Sorry, like this isn't a business for me. Like, I'm an electrician. I'm an industrial electrician. That's what I do for a living. I've been doing it for 24 years, and I'm probably going to be doing it for 24 more years. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to change. But what gets me out of the house, hanging out with the boys, I can monetize that, right? Like, I can go to the track with the boys. We can camper together, whatever. We can have fun. We can make vlogs. We can make fucking race videos. Like, hell yeah. Like, it's, for me, that's a good weekend. You know what I mean? And then for me, it's a little bit of a juggle, because I got to juggle my time with the kids, because I got 4 kids at home. I got to support them too. And I got to be there for their things, and, like, take the kids to the stuff that they're doing, hockey, soccer, whatever it is.
So he's going to work 42 more years.
So,
you're going to work for 42 more years.
I heard 50.
I'm gonna work till I'm dead. Until my legs give out. That's it. That's when I'll retire, which will be never. But yeah, like if you're not willing to YouTube for fun and just enjoy it, then you're not gonna like it. YouTube's
you gotta enjoy it.
Yeah. And it took me several years to really appreciate that, because like when I decided to take YouTube seriously, I'm like, okay, let's make a business out of this. It's gonna be good. Maybe we can turn this to a career. And then I started doing it, and then I was like, oh, it's actually different. It's actually like this. So then I just threw the numbers out the window. I'm like, fuck it. Let's just have fun. Let's just go out with the boys. Who cares? Like, if the video gets views, great. If it doesn't, great. And then my videos started doing better than ever because I stopped caring about the numbers. I stopped caring about performance. And it was just to have a good time and make a video about having a good time. And guess what? The audience loves that shit.
Okay.
It takes years to figure that out for some people, and to go back at that guy's post that was complaining about his numbers, I'm like, he has to figure that out. He's gonna have to figure it out on his own. But whatever.
That's all it is. You learn the hard way, man. That's the tough love. It's the brutality of any sort of. I mean, it's the motorsports industry. It is not an easy industry. Whether you're media, whether you're a builder, you're a racer, no matter what it is.
Same for racers.
It's not easy.
Yep. Like you guys build your shit because you want to go out and race and have fun. You're not building your shit to win pots and make a living off of it, because that's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. Like, and you know this because you got a need for speed. You love the racing. You love the sport. You love getting out there. You do it for fun, basically, right? Like you're dumping all this money in the cars to win not much back, and you keep coming back every week because you love the adrenaline. You love going fast. It's just fun. You know, it's the same for the media guy. Well, it's the same for me as a media guy. Like I love hanging out with Chris and the boys and just shooting the shit with the live stream and the chat and having beers afterwards and talking about racing. Like for me, that's what life. That's
Well, we've had lots of fun, lots of different adventures, and dig or die this year too. Going in the RV with Trevor, like
that was fun, dude.
Austin's house for a couple of days, and then at the track, like.
Some of these trips, like we'll never forget it. We'll remember it forever.
No.
And you can't buy that. You know what I mean? Like for me,
honestly, it's the camaraderie that the modern age is missing, man. Like, you know, now I know this is going to be a complete tangent out of left field, but you know, everybody talks about men's mental health and how we're lonely and all this other shit nowadays. And it's like, honest to God, it's like that right there is what we're all missing. Like you get to do that. That's what we need, as you know, especially in the car community, man. It's so divided. You know, you got all these different guys, you know, the BMW heroes, the downpipe heroes, the fucking 10R80 guys. And, you know, everything's all so divided. Everybody arguing with each other, hating each other. You know, I'm better than you, this, and that. Everything's divided. You know, it gets even worse in grudge racing. And this new generation's got it all fucked up where everything's, you know, for social media, where you're burning up genuine friendships that you can make or partnerships or whatever it is, because you're trying to get those fucking, you know, 100, 200 likes thinking that you're going to make some money. And people are doing it literally for that instead of just the love of it. And just like, dude, enjoy the camaraderie, enjoy the adventure, enjoy everything that comes with it. Like actually, like you say, you know, stop and enjoy your surroundings a little bit, you know?
Exactly.
And you know, again, kind of just it's a tangent, but realistically, I mean, that's what even the modern racer needs. You look at the old guys, you know, the Grumpy Jenkins and stuff like that, them guys, you know, yes, those guys were fierce rivals when they'd go out and race. You had Grumpy's Toy, the Ford drag team, you know, bitter rivals. But at the end of the day, man, they're all at the U.S. Nationals, kicking each other's ass, having a good time. And that was just the golden age of drag racing. It's not like that no more. Everybody's so divided. I've seen so much shit. And even on my own end, you go to the track and you see another camp and it's, hey, fuck you guys. I'm sending your ass on a trailer for the fucking first round. You know what I mean? And it's not like, it's no more of like, hey man, you need help. Like your car's not running here, man. I got an extra part, this and that. It's so rare to find.
It is. Absolutely. And I'll tell you, as a live streamer, when a racer, let's say two racers are out of line. One racer's having a problem with their car. They get 2 minutes. Their 2 minutes are up. They're out. This racer will say, hey, give him my 2 minutes and let this guy fix his shit.
Yep.
That right there makes that guy look incredibly amazing to the chat. The chat, so much respect. The more wholesome you can make that race, the more people love it. The more people love the racers. The more people respect you. Like if you want to, some people think that being a badass makes them look cool, look popular, whatever. No. It's the guys who are respectful. Even if they lose that race, the fact that they gave them their 2 minutes on top of that, they won that race. They won that event because everybody's going to be talking about what a swell guy that dude is. You know, he gave him a race. He lost respectfully. Nobody's going to remember the guy who won. They're going to remember the guy who fucking was right on, a good sport like that. You don't see that anymore, right? And when you do see that, because everybody's trying to be a badass nowadays, like when you do see that, that resonates with my chat. It resonates in my comments and my videos. People will go to their camp and like just show them respect, show them love. And I can't stress that enough to like racers. I'm like, man, like.
Well, the thing is, some people are just there to make money, right?
Well, some of these guys think being badasses is going to make them money. I'm like, guys, don't be badasses. Be a respectful racer. Have a fast car. If you get beat, you get beat. It's okay. But like, people like the people who they want to. I don't know. Nobody likes a villain. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody likes the good guy, right? I don't know if it's hard. It's hard to.
You got to know where to balance. Like I've had that.
Yeah, it's a balance.
I've had that before in the past where like. One of my first stick shift events that I ran in, I made it to the final against John Leslie, who races Coyote stock, and one of my O2 sensors decided to burn up right before the final. He says, "Go to the trailer. I got a brand new Ford One." He's like, "I actually want to race you in the final. Let's go grab it. Let's put it on. Let's get this race off." I'm like, "Dude, badass." We've been friends ever since. When we're on the line, yes, we are rivals. We're gonna try to kick each other's ass, but he's got my back, I got his back, but. Also, on the same note, I've had guys that I've raced where it's like they'll make a smart ass comment and it's like, all right, I'm going to make sure I tree you, I 60 you, and when I'm driving out the back out of your life, I'm whomping the fucking gas, and I hope you go home broke. Have a good day. You got to have that good balance of like, I can be the good guy, but I can also be the villain. You know what I mean?
Well, you're going to be racing villain sometimes, right? You'll be racing that out. He doesn't want to give him his 2 minutes, or fucking is looking for technicalities to get a win, or is protesting a jump, or is protesting anything at all just to try to get a win. Those are the people who we don't want to see win. And
you just got to know how to be their ass
good. We got those guys up here too. Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I think for the most part, everyone wants to see a race, especially the spectators, right? And the drivers that are doing it as like a hobby and kind of fun. Like, I want to race the guy that's beside me. I don't want to win on a technicality.
A free win is never, because like, what are you going to do? Like, you as a YouTuber specifically, if you get a free win in the finals, how do you talk about that on your video? You just got a single pass. Like, yeah, you won.
I don't even like gapping people. Like even when you race guys that are way slower than you, right? Like,
but like if you gave him every opportunity to get to race you as possible, even if you gave him your 2 minutes and he still wasn't able to make it, okay, you know what I mean? You look like the fucking you're a good guy. I know you're a good guy deep down, anyways. But like, I'm just speaking as like a YouTuber for content, right? Like, getting a free win is boring. Nobody wants to watch that. They want to see a race. They want to see you win the race because your audience wants to see you win. But you have to have a race. You know what I mean? Like, getting a free win is boring as a YouTuber.
Yeah, and as a racer too, it's no better feeling. Like I again, speaking from experience, there's been times where like I may not need to do that big smoky John Force burnout. I may need I mean, obviously we have fuel injected Coyote Mustangs. We don't need to be clearing it out after the burnout. But you know what? There's kids on the line, like especially at a lot of the no prep events. There's kids in the stands. There's future racers that are watching, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to put on a show for these guys. I want to race the guy next to me. I want to do a nasty, smoky burnout, clear the fucker out, make some noise, get the people hyped up. It's like, it's what's going to inspire the next generation. Exactly. Those free wins, being a dick to everybody, you're not doing anything. You're making people be like, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm going to be in that position one day where I'm going to get gapped, and that guy's going to call me a piece of shit.
That's true. You know what? When you guys make the show, like when you do the big smoky burnouts, when you guys hype it up like that, as a streamer, as a videographer myself, I try and relay that to the chat, relay that to the viewer, and say, oh yeah, here we go. Like, I'll hype it up. Big burnout, big John Force burnout. This guy's ready to go. I'll try and hype it up. I'll use your energy in my video and in my live stream to hype it up, just to make it better. And I've noticed it just blows up a huge, like, yeah, it's a final race or a semifinal race, but if I can dramatize it even more, when you guys do that shit and just like rev it up and just, do extra stuff on the line, I notice that. I can see it because I've been doing this for a long time. I can see when you guys are trying to be a certain way. And when I see that, you damn right I'm talking to my chat about it, and I'm hyping it up. My voice is getting louder. My tempo is going up, and I can feel the stream. Everybody's, chat's going a lot faster. Everybody's fucking commenting, like it's in it, and I'm feeding off their energy. I'm feeding off your energy, and the video is just so much better when you guys do that shit. I'm telling you, like, you guys doing that just makes the content so much better. It's so good. Don't stop doing it.
Noted.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
No, to kind of circle back on some of that as well, just talking about doing these things and these experiences, sometimes I think people take it for granted, that we have the ability to do this, right? I know Ben and I have talked about this a few times, where we'll be driving to a big race, like the Cash Days at the Hill, right? And we're both in our 40s, right? And we're just like, there's a lot of people out there that dream of doing what we're doing right now. And sometimes you just take it for, like, you don't realize, right? You kind of just whatever, but take a step back and kind of look at everything and what we're doing and where we're going and the people we're meeting with. And I've said this in the past, with a lot of these people that I've followed for years, Limpy, and then you're sitting there with them, right? Like, it's
right.
It's surreal. A lot of people dream of being able to meet these people and be at these races, like Cashes of the Hill or War in the Woods or the Gut or whatever that is, right?
When we went to Cash Days at the Hill and I was sitting next to Limpy, we were getting hammered. And like everybody was drinking, everybody was smoking, we were getting shit faced. And I thought to myself, and I'm like, man, I have been watching this guy for years, flag street racing videos. And here I am shooting the shit with this guy, talking smack, fucking drinking, smoking, and just having fun. I'm like, I'm in my 40s. I'm like, what the fuck? How did I get here? Like, this is amazing. I had the time of my life. Like, I couldn't believe I was partying with this dude I've been watching for years, and like, he's so chill, so cool. Like, it's
a wild feeling, man. It's surreal. I deal with that on a daily basis. I'm, me being tuned with Manny Alvarez from HPP, who's raced at No Prep Kings, has been on Street Outlaws with, they're racing. He was driving Little OJ on the one episode. I work with Adam Drzajic, Tunes Kai, and I go to PRI. I'm hanging out with Chris Roska and Poland and all these guys, and I'm like, this is unreal. Like, I'm just some broke ass kid. And like, I don't even know why I'm here. I should be working in the fucking Pep Boys tire shop. Like, why am I here? What am I doing? It's such. Sometimes you need those experiences to really wake you up and like, man, there's a reason I'm doing this, and there's more to it, because sometimes as a racer, you can get to that point where you're so hyper focused. I've done it. I mean, that's me being hyper focused and being too addicted to what I'm doing and just doing this to win and to compete. That was half the reason I almost wrecked my car last year, and in all honesty, when you start losing that passion and start losing the joy of what you're doing and you're making it about making monetary gain and competing, you start losing what makes it so special. And then you do dumb shit, and it's like, people don't want to see drivers throwing tantrums on the fucking line or slamming their helmet because they fucking lost. Or even, even like I said, I almost wrecked my shit. A lot of guys, there's other people out there, they don't want to see that shit, And it's like, you got to kind of know when to pull back and realize, man, there's a bigger picture. Like, I need to appreciate what I have,
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're lucky to be, to have what you have and to be able to do what you do with the crowd that you're doing with. You know what I mean? Like, that's a very small percentage of people that are able to do that. And a lot of people take it for granted, or a lot of people forget that, like, you're in the show, man. Like, this is the big leagues. Like, the fact that you're able to compete in the big leagues, like, people dream about that shit. Kids are dreaming about that shit. And you're out here doing it. And I can see, like, in the heat of the moment, people lose perspective about that. But the fact that you're able to pull back and be like, wait a minute, this is something I need to dial back or whatever. That just shows like you got the good character, man. Like that's cool. Like I respect that, and I'm sure viewers respect that too, because like you're not the villain. Like some guys are like, there's some guys on YouTube who are just trying to be badasses, and it's just like, okay, that's getting old, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. If you're out there having a good time and enjoying yourself, it doesn't matter how many wins you got, man. Like if you're competitive,
That's all that matters.
Good time, it's all that matters. Fuck it. Like you're good.
I think as racers, we're all like that, though. We all have that competitive nature, and obviously, we all want to win, right?
Well, you gotta have that too, yeah.
Yeah. At the same time, you got to be realistic and play within your means, right? That's the way I look at it, and learn that more and more as the years go on. Right now, especially getting into this next season here, and just how fast everything's getting with the no prep and how the evolution. Right.
I want to ask you about that. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
It's legit. That's what I do, right? I've had a lot of people message me this year and say, "Hey, what?" Like, even last night, I had a buddy message me, "Hey, what's the big changes this year for the car?" And like, yeah, I've made some changes, but the car is really not going to be any faster. But could I spend multiple thousands of dollars on the car? Absolutely. Am I going to put myself in that position? No, right? So
Sometimes, honestly, it's just the maintenance and the how do I want to say it? The maintenance and the fit and finish on the car that is needed more than upgrades. There's been plenty of times where, like, I'll drag shit out, and I start noticing, man, this car is having issues. It doesn't want to drive straight. It's a Mustang, and it's driving like a G body. There's issues. And then winter time comes, I take it apart, and I'm like, oh, there it is. That's why it was doing that. It's like, okay, well, let's fix what everything's tore up. And sometimes that's all you need for that competitive edge. You don't need to spend 5-10 grand. Oh, now I got to get faster. I got to cut off a whole second. I got to do this. It really comes down to racing within your means. I'm telling you, when I heard Tony Bynes say that on Forever Grudge's interview with him, man, that shit just resonated with me. I'm like, you know what? That's what I need to do. That's exactly what I need to do. Is race within your means, and you got to respect your money. You got to respect your hustle. Don't go out there trying to impress people that at the end of the day, they ain't gonna remember you. They're gonna remember the guy that's in the winner's circle. If you get there, cool.
Remember that guy. They're gonna remember that guy for a couple of days or a week. After that, everyone forgets and doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that right now.
You've said it on a past podcast.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Mike Corley with his the shop truck, the S10. He couldn't stop lighting the tires up every fucking race. Light the tires up. And then another guy with S10 was like, "Hey man, it's probably your old ass leaf springs." And he was like, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Dude, your leaf springs are probably worn out." He changed the leaf springs, and now he's winning fucking all the time because that's all it was. It was just worn out leaf springs, like shit he never would have thought of. You know what I mean? Like, but it was something so simple. He didn't make the car faster. He didn't get a new motor. He didn't get any new turbos. He just changed something on the truck that was worn out that he didn't realize, and it made him competitive instantly. Like it was. And
there's an example there too with some of those guys that we hang out with. Trevor, Mike from Sinister and stuff. Multiple times, those guys still love what they're doing, but you'll hear them all the time. "Oh, I'm just going to get rid of this and get back into a street car. I'm going to pull this motor out, put it in a street car." And that's one thing for me. Till I die, street cars where it's at, right? So the car spends more time on the street than anywhere else, right? So when people ask, I just started a new job this week. People ask, "Oh, what's your hobbies when you do this and that?" Right? And then I always almost feel weird saying drag racer. I always got to make a point, but it's a street car though, right? Like I drive it on the street. It's not like a yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'll take it for a coffee, take it to get groceries, take it to have a coffee. And honestly, I would say that it's 50-50, man. I enjoy cruising on the street just as much as I do racing. So
I forgot you got that new job. I forgot about that. So if you guys are in Canada, there's now a Canada Chippendales. He is working there. He's he works on BBW night and he's loving it. I actually forgot to tell you guys that. So go see him on Thursdays.
Yeah, Thursdays. Chippendales, baby. Get my bow tie on.
Oh
nice.
Man!
Subscribe to the OF.
Yeah. But yeah, it's street car life, baby.
Are you going to race on May 3rd at TMP?
Yeah, so I'm going to do that race. So that's
are you going to do
what I guess
class, street class or
modern
class?
Yeah.
Now that OSO is dead, are you gonna, if they have a stick shift class, because the TMP is going to run it themselves, are you going to race TMP in the stick shift class?
Probably, depending. I guess we'll give Jay and any viewers that aren't familiar yet. There's from the past, Jay, if I remember that I won at that series, the Ontario Street Outlaws.
Yep.
So that
I've actually been following. I've seen what happened, and it's.
Okay.
I haven't raced it, but it is sad to see.
Yeah, so that organization is gone now, but someone else will be taking it over. So we're not too sure yet. But I stopped racing that with that organization because I just didn't agree with stuff that they had done in the past. So to me, I'm actually excited that there's still going to be no prep at TMP, and someone else will be taking it over because it is the
TMP
closest track to me.
Super close, yeah.
Yeah, it's super close, and I love TMP. Back of the track, night 5 to get at the Toronto crowd.
You do well there.
They got the bar out there. Like it's a great establishment there.
It's a great setup. They probably have the best setup of all the setups.
With that being said, talking about back of the track and the night vibes and everything, what are the odds to get Pro Tree Media and the infamous Pegeloz down to US 41 for the streetcar brawl?
US 41?
Oh yeah, they have a badass event. Brian Ripel and I can't. I'm not going to say his name. That's his Facebook name. Not going to blow him up.
When is it?
They do it every month. It's once a month. They think the first one is going to be April 26th. I'll send you the event. But it is a once a month event at US 41. They race the backside as a pour your own prep. They have everything from test and tune to a budget rumblers group, which is like it's kind of like a Pink's All Out style race where you have to negotiate with the car that you're racing. They have True Street. They have small tire, which the Shepherds are usually out there with the RX-7s, a little heavy. I'm sure they're going to have shitty scent out there. They got a stick shift class, and they have a DOT class as well. So, and it's probably honestly a worse surface than Dig or Die, if I had to be honest with you.
Yeah, I want to get there and get to one of those. And
So we're looking at
the only thing is Jay won't be able to race that race because I'll need someone to pour my puddle.
Well, I'll do both. I'll just get out there, pour, and then go run into my car. There's not a lot of media guys there. That's the reason I bring it up, because I know that's one thing. They could definitely use some good media coverage, and there are a lot of grassroots guys that definitely earn their keep and work their asses off.
So we're looking at a 7-hour, 19-minute drive to US 41. I'm willing to go if Chris, you want to go one race?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
If you want to go, any race, like whatever race in the season, doesn't matter.
They're doing some frontside ones as well. They got one prepped event. They got 2 frontside no preps, which are the All Street Nationals, and then they do the once a month backside no prep as well. It's a pretty badass event. I mean, you see a lot of cool shit.
Okay.
I think last year, actually, Rock Solid Motorsports brought out their 280Z, Du Haas, they call it. Stick shift 280Z. They had it out there. Some of the FSI guys come down and race out there. It's a damn good time.
Yeah, you know what? I'm totally down. Like my film schedule, I have events that I want to hit, but I just do month to month. And I kind of play it by ear. So wherever the boys are going, I'll kind of gravitate to wherever they're going. And if the boys aren't going anywhere, I'll just do some local stuff. So, I mean, if the boys are going to head out to US 141, I will happily join and happily film that event 100%. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's like once a month deal. So, I mean, we could probably look at the schedule throughout the summer and see what works for everybody else, and maybe we'll hit one of those. We'll see. That sounds cool, though. 100%. I've never been to that track. I would love to see.
It's pretty sick. I think Trevor had talked about it before on TC Tunes podcast, his podcast. I think he talked about 41, but it is the only event. He said it word for word. You think it would get better throughout the night? It gets worse.
No kidding, really.
It is a driver's battle, and it is a tuning battle. Like, it will bring out the best of drivers and tuners.
I like that.
And it is as grassroots as it gets.
I really want to see it because I want to see what it's like compared to Dig or Die.
Dig or Die is such a bad track, dude. It's so good. It's
so
good.
I said to Jay so many times. He's like, nope. He's like 41. 41's got to be worse.
41 will make Dig or Die look at an NHRA track.
No shit.
Yes.
Now, now, have you seen Orlando's backside? Because that's fucked up.
That's not even. I was watching the video of their backside, and I'm like, I'm looking at their race. I'm like, where's the cracks with the grass growing out of it? Where's the cheese grater chip seal?
Okay.
Where's all that at?
Yeah, but
All right.
I think like a winning pass in small tire at Orlando backside is like low 6s.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I would say if you're in the 640s at 41 on the backside, you're probably dominating.
In small tire?
Yeah.
That's
It's
bad.
wild. And there's been some crazy stuff there, like the Shepherds with Little Heavy, their RX-7. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Rusty RX-7.
Oh, yeah. I see him on the trail
He
all the time.
drugged the bumper at that surface, like sparking the parachute mount on the bumper down that surface, half-track wheeling that thing.
Those guys are
You will see
badass.
some crazy shit.
That's good.
You will see some honestly just absolute next level shit at that race.
Yeah,
It's
they're
crazy.
local. They're local around there, aren't they? They're
Yeah,
from that
yeah,
area.
they're I want to say they're within like a 45-minute radius to 41. They're not that far.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a little over an hour from 41 myself.
Okay, all right. And Dylan's around that area too. Bodygon with the red Nova.
Yeah, and
Twin
then
turbo
there's
Nova.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with. I can't remember the guy's name. There's a red ProCharge GTO. He's usually in True Street at War in the Woods. It's, I think it's an 05 or 06 GTO, big ProCharger. I know he usually races.
Yeah.
So
I know what you're talking about.
There's a lot of wicked cars that you'll see there, and it seems like that's the proving ground where everybody works their ass off there, and it kind of pays back at the bigger events.
Oh, I'm curious now. Fuck.
Yeah, my schedule's pretty open. The only thing I got locked in was PYOP, summer shootout at St. Thomas, which I'm hoping Jay's coming up for.
I will be there.
Hopefully.
I'm working on getting a passport. I want to get there. Even if I don't get the car there, I will be there.
All right.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. I think, are you gonna try to film that one this year, Ben? Summer shootout. Jay Mesler?
What's the date?
I think it's
Because I was looking
August.
at it.
Yeah,
Meisner. What's the date? August?
I think it's the beginning of August. I think it's the first weekend in August.
Meisner Summer Shootout,
Yeah,
August 9th.
yeah,
Yes, I am available.
yeah. You
'Cause
better lock that one in.
The only thing is the next day is Grand Bend Motorplex Pro Street 519, so it's going to be a double weekend.
Yeah. So there you go, Jay. You might get to see the backside of Grand Bend too.
Grand Bend's an hour away from St. Thomas.
Yeah.
The tracks are so close together.
Yeah.
Literally, the only thing I had going that weekend, there was a Loretta show I wanted to go to, but it's either I hang out with my Mexicans or I hang out with my snow Mexicans, and I'm going to Canada. I ain't never been there, so I'm going to go experience something new and see how y'all party.
So I'll let Tony know too that there's a 519 the next day. I know Tony's not huge on the backside stuff.
Well,
really,
you said
but I'm sure if
you're going to race at Meisner, right?
Yeah, I'm going to race at Meisner. Yeah.
Okay, if you guys are going to go, I'll go.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't like check mark it on my list here is because I wasn't sure who was going to it. But if the boys are going, I'll go to it because it's.
Oh yeah, I'm going. That should be a big one.
Easy drive to that track.
Yeah. But aside from that, it's sick. Is my goal. So.
Are you going to race the next day at Grand Bend as well?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll probably go regardless. But need to be a little cautious this year too, because sick week's going to cost a ton of money. I guess I'm building the shop and everything. So.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Damn, drag and drive, guys.
Yeah, I'll be there.
We'll do. Yeah, because I got to get a radio on eventually here.
So you're going to do that drag and drive the sick week?
Yeah, that's the plan, man. So
that's cool. That's bucket list.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm not mad, just disappointed.
Who knows after the fall and after the sick week, if we're able to lock in for that, there might be a radio guy for the rest of my life. Who knows?
What class do you run?
I'm going to run stick shift.
Stick shift class, that's it? Or
it's just, one stick shift class. So I don't have any expectations of taking any hardware home. It's more of just, it'll be getting through the week and
get to the end.
An average in the 9s for a week and finish it off. That's kind of the goal. So,
buddy, that's a lot of content too. Like every day you got a video. That's cool. Like
I wouldn't do daily uploads though. I'm
not saying I'm doing daily uploads, but like do daily videos and then just when you get home, edit them and upload them one at a time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Can we start a GoFundMe to get me like a clap Dodge Caravan to go follow Chris around in Sick Ward, and I'll just record and troll him the whole time and just absolutely clap Dodge Caravan.
That would be fucking hilarious.
I'd do it.
Be so
I'd be
good.
down.
That would be so good.
We'll paint like General Lee and just go follow him around.
So what, aside from the local stuff, Ben, what do you have any big races on the list for this year?
So the big
you're locked in
races that I want to hit this year, definitely War in the Woods. I've never been to War in the Woods.
It's wild.
Neither have I.
I've never
Either.
We didn't go
You'll love
last year because we thought it was going to rain, and we're kicking ourselves for not going. I do want to do War in the Woods. So that's one event that's going to be. That's one event that I don't care how many views I get. That's for me. That's. I want to go to the event because I've never been there before. It's a bucket list race, just like Ohio Cache Days. I'm going to go to Ohio Cache Days again, just because
they're doing two though.
They're doing two.
Yeah.
I'd like to do the first one for sure in the summer, and then if everybody wants to go to the second one, I'll go with. If they don't want to go, then okay.
I might be in for that. I think Ohio could be done. I can go race there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could tell you it was a sweaty time.
It was
2024.
It was so hot. Holy shit.
Well, that's when I seen that second date of September. I'm like, if I do Cache Days at the Hill, I think September would be the one to do because it was way too hot in August there.
That's how the hill was.
I'm debating about doing a PDRA event. There's one at US 31 in August. I don't know. We'll see. I do want to do August 22nd. Motor City Mayhem has a $200,000 pot. $200,000 pot for I think it's a 16 car field, small tire field. It's a Friday. So last year they did it. It was 100K, and it was a Friday. There was not allowed live streaming. Nobody saw it because nobody went to it. So this year I'm going to do it, but it's 200K. It's huge. And I already talked to Peso about it. It's one of Peso's events.
So Peso's no G, dude. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit that event for sure, just because it's $200,000 pot. I've never seen a pot that big.
That's insane.
I'm going to skip Shady Side this year. Shady's because War in the Woods is the week after. And I found that Shady Side, there's 5,000 media guys there. And it's just, there's
that'll be another big one.
I can't live stream. I couldn't live stream anyways because Corey Spooled Media has the rights to it.
Yeah.
I just can't justify the trip. You know what I mean? I got 4 kids to feed. I got to think about that when I do these trips. So the big trips I'm going to save it for the War in the Woods. So the weekend after is the War in the Woods. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do all the Canadian races just because it's super easy.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You know what I mean? Cayuga's an hour.
I want to try to support them all too. It's just going to be a funds thing to make sure, because it's good to support local to keep it alive up here.
You have to support local. Yeah. It's only an hour and a half away from us. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a lot of Milan heads up stuff. So all my front side class racing is going to be at Milan this year. I'm going to do most of their events. I think I'm going to miss the first one, because I'm going to do that no prep on May 3rd. But I'm going to do Milan heads up. They got a great following. A lot of 3-second cars, like LDR, limited drag rail. That class is insane. Outlaw 10.5, all those guys, Pro Mod, they all run 3 seconds. It's insane. Those cars are so fast. So that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to do a Quebec race. I'm going to be in Quebec in September. I'm going to do Quebec Dredge Wars and SSPA, a little bit of import drag racing. Get back to my roots a little bit. Nice. And Dig or Die in December. Obviously, Dig or Die. I farm at Dig or Die. Dig or Die is so easy for me. I love that race.
I was thinking for this year, I want to go back again this year, but I'm like, that's super close to sick week though. I don't know about bringing the car, but it would, regardless, be good to get back there to at least spectate and hang out.
Dude, honestly, if you're there just to spectate, fuck, man, your B-roll is so good, dude. Honestly, dude, your B-roll is better than I can shoot. I don't know. Yeah. You got a good eye for the angles, just capturing the behind the scenes moments.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had another me to do that when I'm at races for my videos.
I believe it, dude. Well, when I was editing that video, I was looking. So when I edit videos, I do the video and then I do the intro last, because when
Same
I do
here.
the intro last, I know where the highlights are in the video, right?
Yeah.
When I went through your memory card, I was like, fuck, man, this is better than anything I ever shot. Like, like from Digger Die specifically, right? And it was perfect, man. Like, you got a good eye, man. You're a good
I know.
videographer.
I love that stuff. Like when I was filming with you too, you probably remember I loved it. Like we were doing the TMP stuff on the back of the track. I'd be getting down low and the headlights and the smoke, and it takes an eye. And I was talking to Tyler about that today when we were working on the car for the first BYOP. So I know you're going to be there filming, so I'm sure you'll probably help me out with whatever footage you get from my passes. But I really need the PYOP on May 3rd. At TMP.
Oh, that's
right?
it.
Yeah. So I know you'll be filming probably the passes. So I might be able to steal that footage from you. But like I'm at the point where it's like I'm probably going to put a post out probably in the next week or two and look to hire someone to come and just run the camera for me, like in the pits and that sort of stuff. Yeah, because but the thing is, it's tough because if you don't have the experience, right? Like I wish I had another me to be able to get the shots and do some B-roll stuff, but you know. It is what it is, I guess.
Videos are much better, like your videos when you're on the camera and not behind the camera, because I want to when I watch one of your videos, I want to see you. I don't want to see somebody else. You know, like I can hear you talking, but like, no, that's I totally get it.
I learned that big time when we were doing the shop stuff, because I was doing that because it was the winter and it was something fun to do every Sunday night when we went to the shop, but. A lot of people were saying that, like, oh, you're not in the videos, right? Because I'm just filming, Bo and Adam. So it's like, which it was cool and it helped get monetization and had fun with it. But like, it just wasn't getting the views. And people were like, well, we want to see what you're doing, right? Like, and it's no different than Jay when I'm bugging Jay to put videos out because I want to see what Jay's doing, right? But if Jay was out there filming one of his buddies, I'd probably be like, whatever, right? Like,
it's true, man. It's true. Like, I don't know. It's when I was at Digger Die, I was live for 15 hours straight. And within those 15 hours, I got to eat. I got to piss. You know what I mean? And thank God you were there because you were able to take the camera and keep the content rolling. And, people in chat were like, they said, not in a negative way, in a positive way, but they're like, oh, like we really noticed the difference when Chris was here and you were here. Like the dynamic changed a little bit. Like the video felt different, not in a bad way. It was a good way. Like it was Chris's way, and then there was Ben's way, right? Like, and people were talking about it in the chat. They're like, "Oh, I like Chris. He's cool for this reason." Or like, "Oh, I like Ben. He's cool for this reason." And I'm like, I feel the same way when I'm watching, YouTuber videos, like because. Usually I watch a video because I'm interested in the person and I don't really, if they work on this car, that car, whatever. I'm just curious to see what they're fucking doing. You know what I mean? Like I just follow the person. And with your videos, like I don't really care what other people's projects are. Like I just care about like, what are you doing? What's your shit doing? Right? Like, so I totally agree. Yeah. Having a cameraman is going to, like Cletus does it, like he's got fucking George to shoot him, and that's his job, is to shoot Cletus. Because back in the old days, if you watch old Cletus videos where he was GoProing it himself, it feels completely different. Doesn't feel like, it feels like his video's about whoever he's shooting, and it's not as good. So I totally get it. You need a cameraman 100%. And that'll definitely help your vlogs go further, but at the same time you need your technique in your videos, because your eye for videography is much better than most people out there. Anyways.
Everyone's got their different styles, right? And you see it amongst all the different channels, but one thing that is pretty common, usually the bigger channels do have someone else filming them. And like I was saying to Tyler today, we're working on the car, it's a hell of a lot easier talking to a camera when you're not holding it, I find. Anyways.
Exactly. Because you don't have to worry about framing and shit. Like when I give you the camera at like Digger Die or whatever, it's so much fucking better. When I'm holding the camera like this, it weighs so much. It's so fucking heavy, dude. It's so big. And I'm trying to keep myself
weird. It's still weird just talking to a freaking camera, right? Like you're holding it in your hand. But it's getting easier for me anyways. It takes time. I know Jay seems pretty fluid with it, but
Awkward. I'm very awkward. I may look fluid, but it is awkward as fuck.
Yeah. It doesn't show. And Tyler even said
takes-
that today, because Tyler said he doesn't notice it with me. He says it seems like you're, because he sits there and watches it. And he's like, I don't know how he does that, but I'm like, when I'm doing that, I'm like stressing, right?
You know what works for me? This is how I was able to fix that situation for me. I wouldn't do my intros until I was live. So I would click the live stream live, and then I would do, not like the last Stick or Die. I did that differently because I wasn't live when I did my intros. But like normally at an event, I will click the live stream live, so there's people there, and that kind of forced me to be good, like to be better, because I was talking to the live stream. I wasn't talking to my video. I found when I was talking to an edited video, I would fuck up. I would shoot 20 fucking intros before I found one that I liked. But if I was live, my brain was like, you're live, you better do this right. And I just felt, I don't know, it just worked for me. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, hey, what's up, people? And I can see people chatting, right? I'm like, here we are. Fuck, we're at Detroit TV. We're back in Milan. We got this idiot over here. And like, there'll be somebody next to me, whatever, right? And it was just more casual. It was just more relaxed because I was talking to live stream, but I was recording at the same time on my camera. Yeah. So that's kind of how I got over the, like, you know, when you film an intro and it's like, okay, that sucked, let's do it again. You know what I mean? Like
35 times.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, that's how I got over it. Just clicking the live stream on, and then people were there, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah. That makes it easy because a lot of people say pretend like you're talking to someone you know. You know, well, every time I do that, like it's like I don't think about talking to somebody I know, but when you actually are, that's a legitimate situation where you are talking to people, you know, there are people there, right? So
it's hard talking to a camera, right? Like, especially like it's just the lens. You know, you don't know how many people are actually going to view this video, but like if there's even like 30 to 50 people on the chat, that's enough people for me to swallow my, you know, like just get it out. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what's going on, boys? Like, here we are. And then like somebody will throw a comment and it'll remind me of something that I was supposed to talk about. And yeah, we got this guy here from whatever, right? Like
I gotta learn how to do that, because like my issue is, well, like when I did the auto show video, thank God I had some liquid courage. It me up very well. But like my issue with a lot of my recording is I'm just like, in my head, I'm looking like, okay, I'm recording myself. I look like every fucking teenage TikToker doing a stupid video in public. And there's a bunch of fucking Clint Eastwoods from Gran Torino staring at me like, fucking kids. And I'm just like, I don't like this, man. I really don't. But, you know, I kind of bully myself. So like I try, like all my videos that I've posted so far have been one takes. I just like, I have to do good. I have to do good. And it's like, as I'm doing it, if I stutter or I fuck something up, I'm like, too bad. That's going in the video. Get better. Stop sucking. It's like, man,
that's not a bad.
It's hard.
It's not a bad way to look at it. But even when you do screw up, one thing I did learn is with the master of editing, right? So you can clip that stuff, and it's funny, and people don't even notice, because it's funny because I notice now because I make YouTube videos. But you can watch some big YouTubers, and they chop. It's like every sentence is going.
I'm guilty.
But I never noticed that until I started doing this.
Until you notice it.
I never realized that people chopped up their
like a motherfucker.
Yeah. And then now I watch like, whoa, this guy's got millions of subs. And I'm like, he's chopping every sentence.
It's so true. It's so true. I'm guilty of it. You know, some days like my bearings aren't in line and I just fucking forget shit. You know what I mean? Like my problem is I'll say an intro and then I'll finish it and I'll be like, fuck, I forgot like this super important thing that's going to happen today. So I'll just have to like talk about it and then just like splice it in, and then there's chops. You know what I mean? Like,
I try to look at it like, for me, I'm like, all right, like my big inspiration is Old Man's Garage. I'm like, he's an older guy doing it. So if he can do it, I can do it. It's not just young, dumb TikTok kids that are out there making an ass out of themselves doing videos. Like, older people are doing it too. Obviously, Steve Morris, Old Man's Garage. Like, there are older people doing it. Mm-hmm. I can do it too. I'm not fucking super old. I'm not super young. I'm right in the middle. Let's make it happen. I can do it. but it's just that constant like conscience of like, you see all these cancerous fucking streamers and TikTokers and Twitch people, and you're like, oh God,
Yeah.
I don't want to be another one of those.
It's a fine line, and like, you know, there is no age limit to this. Like, as long as you're passionate, there's an audience for you, because there's going to be an audience full of passionate people your age. You know what I mean? Like, and even the young dudes will follow you just because you're passionate about it. As long as you're just genuinely having a good time. Anyways, for me, I felt like as long as I'm having fun at an event, the videos are going to turn out to be good and people will watch them. And that's part of the reason why I stopped filming OSO back in the day. It's because their events felt cold, and, you know, I wasn't happy. I didn't feel good. And I stopped filming them. And then it was the best thing, because like, I can't force it. You know, you can't force happiness. You can't force your reactions to be happy and engage in the video. So, I mean, there's really no age limit to it. As long as you're passionate about what you're doing, you're having a good time, the content's going to sell itself. You know what I mean? Like, these guys racing, the content's going to sell itself. As long as you're there having a good time with it, it doesn't matter your age and all that shit. Like, fuck, you know, young, old, they're all going to follow you. It's all good.
Just do it, right? That's the way I look at it. The first video I made, it took me, probably 12 hours to film. And I think it was like 15 minutes. I was walking around the parkade downtown for 2 days. Right. It was brutal,
I would say
right?
that's the biggest advice I ever got. And I want to give a shout out to Brent Albury, Hate Train. We had talked about it at PRI. I'm like, man, how do you do the YouTube thing? I'm like, you're fucking out there in left field. How the fuck do you do it? He's like, dude, I just don't give a fuck. He's like, I just don't care. I just go out. He's like, I don't care. I'm like, you know what? That's what I need to do. So like at the auto show, I did that video, and I'm like, fuck it. Like, just don't care. People, half these people, more than half these people, I'm never going to see again. Fuck it. Let's make some conversation. If people walk up and, hey, man, you're recording YouTube. Yeah, fuck it. Get in the video. Come on. Let's go. Like, whatever, you know?
Exactly. It took me years to get good. Like, when I used to do like intros or talk to the camera, I would be somewhere where there's nobody around. You know, I'd be at the end of the track or whatever. And then I was just like, who fucking cares? So then I started doing my intros in the staging lanes while people were gathering up, and I'd put the camera in front of me, and people would get behind the camera and be like, hey, you know, like, because they knew I was going to use that footage, and that made me feel good because they wanted to be a part of my video. And, you know, and being in the staging lanes when the cars are lining up for first round of small tire, for example, as a viewer, you're going to see that, oh, we're getting ready. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we're getting ready to go here, right? So I can cut to a few interviews and still retain that viewer because he's seeing me in the staging lanes. Everybody's getting ready. They want to see these cars go against each other. They're seeing the matchups, right? So it's kind of like bait, you know, like I'm baiting these people into the video to stay on the video. And,
rather than being in a forest filming yourself in the middle of nowhere at the track.
Right? And the performance of my videos, of my videos skyrocketed after that, because I wasn't doing my intros at the end of the track. I was doing my intros in the staging lanes where everybody's getting ready. You can see all the racers, you can see all the cars, and they're in the background, and there's people around. Like, and I'm not nervous anymore because I said, fuck it, who cares? Like, they think I'm stupid talking to the camera? Fuck it, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? Like, whatever, right? And I genuinely
lock people in from the beginning. You just got to lock people in from the beginning, and that helps doing that, having the action in the back, right? And that's why with my event videos, I always try to do an intro, right? And it's always different for every video, and it's clips from that video to try to get people to go, oh shit, I want to see that, right? And then
they want to see it, right? That's the hook, right? Yeah. So I can cut to a few interviews, a few pre-race interviews, and that viewer will stay on because he saw a bunch of cars he wants to see race each other, right? Like, they're in the background while I was doing my intro. So that's kind of a tactic that I use when I bait people. But it took me years to like really get over it and say, fuck it, who cares? Like, there's 100 people in the audience watching me hold the camera in front of my face, talk to it. Like, I used to be self-conscious about that years ago. Yeah. And now I embrace it. I love it. I'm like, I got a camera in front of me, people watching me. I'm like, all right, watch me do this shit. Like, watch me butter this bread. You know what I mean? Like, and it's fucking good, you know, especially with the live stream. Like, the chat's getting me going. I don't see people anymore. Like, people are gone. I just see, you know, what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. And it took years, but like, fuck, man, like, I'm so happy where I am right now with that. And every YouTuber is going to go through that, right? So
yeah, and I like that aspect of it too, getting more engaged with the videos, because in the past you didn't do that back in the day. And now having someone, a face, and there was another channel too. I can't remember which channel it was, but it was the same thing. You would never see the face of the person behind the camera, and then finally did. It's like then you kind of build more of a relationship with that person that's doing the filming, right? And
yeah,
it goes a long way. But there are some days. So sorry to just want to put this in here real quick. There are some days where the video is like spooled media. Some days I just want to sit back and watch racing, man. I don't want to see an interview. I just want to see boom, boom, boom. So there are some days where it's like, you know what Corey does, I like that. Or like Jay Malcolm, like let's see the burnout, see the pass, see the burnout.
He's got a cool
channel.
I love his channel too. Yeah, he's got some wild. I mean, and these are the people that have access to that wild content we don't get. Like Jay Malcolm is a perfect example. Like you want to see some big wheel G bodies doing some crazy ass shit, that's where you go. You know what I mean? Like it's where people live, right? He doesn't have to be on camera. He doesn't have to do all the shit that we got to do because he has this niche that we can't tap into. You know, you got to go to him to get that stuff. And a lot of channels have that. A lot of channels utilize that. And that's great. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with that. For me, you know, I talk in my videos constantly. I'm constantly talking to the chat. If I'm talking to chat, I'm talking to the video. The video can hear me. So because I'm talking to those people, I feel like I have to put the camera on my face and talk a little bit about it. You know what I mean? Just because people can see who's talking to them. You know what I mean? Like, this is me. I'm talking to you, whatever. Like, this is the intro. This is me. What's up? I'm going to talk to you all fucking race. This is my content. This is how I do it. Right. And because I find the more context you give people about the cars, like I know a lot about their setups. I know what they're running. Even if it's a Fox body, if I tell you, hey, that Fox body actually has a Ford under the hood with a turbo and that Fox body has an LS with a Pro Charger, who knows? You're going to think differently about the race than if it was just two regular Fox bodies, right? Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to talk to you all race, you got to see my face. You got to see who I am. You got to see who you're talking to, right? And I think that's important. I think there is a balance, though. I think you can't see too much of me. I think other channels, the big channel in particular, shows too much face because they just do. I find there has to be a balance. You know, I can show myself a few times throughout the race, maybe 3 or 4 times, but I don't want you to focus on me. Why don't you focus on the racers? So when I'm talking to the racer, you already know what I look like. You don't need to see me again. Unless I'm like, hey, round 2, here we go, blah, blah, blah. We got this guy for some special reason. Something is happening right now. I'm going to talk to you about that. Or if somebody got disqualified for whatever reason, I'm going to talk to you about that. Otherwise, I don't need to be on camera. I can just talk to you behind the camera. You're going to hear me. I got 2 microphones, one for the car, one for me. It's fine. But yeah, there's a balance, and it's really hard to maintain that balance. And some channels don't get it right, and I'm trying my best to get it right.
Oh, you're doing a damn good job. I would say that's why I like your style of video, and I've been watching your channel for a while as well, because I've always said grudge racing, street racing, whatever, any sort of racing is like a boxing match, right? You're testing before, you're getting the car ready. It's the same way a boxer will train for weeks to get ready for his bout. And when the fight happens, you have the fight commentators, they're walking you through what's going on. You'll see them between rounds and kind of like explaining what's going on with the highlight reels. And when I watch your video and similar channels, it's kind of the same balance. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Where it's like, here's the car, here's the story, here's the car, here's the story. This is what they're racing for. You show the burnout, you show the race. Boom, here's the after the race commentary. And then, okay, next fight kind of thing. You know what I mean? It kind of has the same boxing feel, which, I mean, people love boxing, and you're just bringing it and kind of bringing that vibe into racing.
Cool. No, I appreciate that. That's perfect. That's what I'm striving for. Absolutely. Awesome. That's great to hear that feedback for sure. Like everybody tells me like, hey man, like you're doing a great job. And I'm like, sometimes I have to be like, am I really doing a great job? Like, if you could change something, what would it be? And like, sometimes it's hard to get like constructive criticism out of people, but I feel like the formula is kind of dialed in between, you know, I'm there for the event coverage. You know what I mean? I want you to see every round of the big classes, and the smaller classes, maybe I'll put in like semifinals and finals, something like that. I want you to see the whole event, but the show is probably going to be like, say, if it's a no prep small tire or whatever. I want you to see the racing is first and foremost, whatever. But I also want you to see like behind the scenes, you know, the story, whatever. That's cool. Like that's exactly what I'm trying to show you guys is what you're saying there. So that's totally cool. Yeah, that's totally cool.
So that's good. That's good. Well, you guys want to talk about rear wheel drive or all-wheel drive? No, I'm just fucking kidding. We're gonna wrap this up in like 2 hours. Fuck. It's funny. Earlier I was watching whose video was it? Someone's video. Well, it's been like a week or whatever since that rear wheel drive versus all-wheel drive stuff. But Lindsay turned to me and she's like, I don't want to hear about rear wheel drive, all-wheel drive anymore. I'm so sick of hearing it. Everybody's it's just been a week of it. Yeah, so I thought
I just got one thing to say on that, just because I'm a dickhead and I got to do it, is small tire guys, grudge race guys, all that, stop being scared of all-wheel drives. Yes, there are a lot of fast all-wheel drives, but if this slow motherfucker was able to go all last year undefeated, racing K-Series fucking all-wheel drive Hondas, Turbo SRT Jeeps, and fucking them up, you motherfuckers can do it too. Grow a pair, get them fucking 28s working, figure your shit out, and gap some motherfuckers, and show the all-wheel drive guys that rear-wheel drive guys can hang, and y'all motherfuckers need all the help you guys can get.
Absolutely.
I'll put one little.
I'll drink to that.
I'll put one little thing on that. I'll put one little thing on that. It was close racing, and I think if those rear-wheel drive guys had some more testing on there or more rounds like the all-wheel drive guys did, I think it would have been even closer. But realistically, at the end of the day, that's all I'm going to say is I think that was great, and I think the rear-wheel drive had a great showing at that race, having no passes on that surface because it was close racing.
I wanna say on that, because Cletus has the biggest platform in the automotive section of YouTube. Okay. All of the all-wheel drives that were at that race have data and tune-ups for that track. The rear-wheel drives have never seen the light of day of the backside of Bradenton Motorsports Park. And they were also not allowed any kind of proper burnouts. Mm-hmm. And they still hung with those motherfuckers to the end of the track. Okay. There were no gaps. There were no gaps. So if you bring those guys to a track, those same all-wheel drive cars to a track where they can pour your own puddle and they have the rear-wheel drive guys have data, you're not going to see a single freaking all-wheel drive truck Mexican GTR in the finals. I guarantee you they will be out. Okay. I'm saying that. I'm not saying like they all signed up for the rule set. They all know Cletus's rules, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. We all signed up for the shit. I get it. But let's be real here. None of those Mexican GTRs will hang with us if they come to the backside of Mile and Dragway.
I'll say I think that the rear-wheel drive guys need a couple more Coyotes because I think the Turbo LS because they got walked on by Coyote trucks. And
I love those Coyotes.
The only car that was doing worth fuck all in the rear-wheel drive was Andrew Lavender with the Coyote Power New Edge. But I do want to give a shout out to Dirty Dollars Racing, the Tabers with their badass split bumper.
That car was sick.
That's a bad motherfucker. And them guys got their shit figured out. So if
I saw that digger die. He was sick. Yeah.
If they're struggling, you know there's an issue.
Absolutely.
And I gotta say I love Manuel Gomez. That guy's a beauty. He cracks me up.
The smack talk post he was making on social media. Absolutely. I love it.
I don't know if you guys watched the table from earlier this week. But Manuel was on it.
I missed it.
Dude, you have to go back and watch. Manuel was on it, and you will be in stitches, bro. That guy.
I missed it this week. Yeah, I'm
gonna go back. At least scroll until you find Manuel come on the screen and watch it, Ben. You will.
That dude's a comedian. That dude is so good.
He's fucking wild, bro. He gives no fucks.
I love it. He said
I'd love to have him in my camp.
He said if they let all-wheel drive at Take or Die, he said he will be there and he will fuck everyone up. He said that on the table. He said that on the table, so go back and watch.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Straight up.
I think, you know what, the amount of exposure that no prep race got was great for no prep racing in general.
Absolutely.
Like the fact that Cletus was able to, throw a few million views at no prep racing in general, that's awesome. That's great. I love it. Doesn't matter who wins or loses. The fact that the scene gets exposure, one of my favorite scenes in all of drag racing, and that's great. I love it. So it's all good.
No, it's enough all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. So we'll get her wrapped up here. Oh shit, we're at like around 2 hours here, so we'll get it wrapped up.
2 hours already.
Yeah. Anyone that's made it this far, definitely chime in for our live that we'll have. That'll be Stick Talk episode 10, which will be Wednesday. April the 23rd. At 7
Yeah, if any of you
PM.
people want to call me a fucking liar on Shocks, come and talk that shit, motherfucker.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll do it live. We'll do it
If you want to
fucking
talk,
live.
yeah. Well, if you want to talk shit on Pegeloz, you want to talk shit on J Mac, Garrett,
But mostly
Leach,
talk shit
Phil
on
Fez.
that guy. That guy. Yeah, talk that guy. Talk shit on that guy. Fuck his beard.
That's when you'll be able to do it. Will be Wednesday, April 23rd at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's when you'll catch us next. And thank you, Ben, for showing out tonight. We appreciate having you on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Man,
Appreciate it.
It was a good time. A lot of insightful information, and I'm sure
For sure.
gave the viewers a lot more in-depth on how the media side of things work. Yeah, where's everyone got to go to? Obviously, ProTreeVideos, but you're on. Tell them, where do they find you? Where do they got to go?
YouTube. Obviously, YouTube's the bread and butter. And Instagram, ProTreeVideos.ca. TikTok, I got a big TikTok for some reason. ProTreeVideos as well. And Facebook, I don't really give a shit about Facebook, but you can follow me there too. ProTreeVideos on everything. So.
Yeah.
we're Facebook friends. I'll poke you later. I mean,
Hell yeah.
Whoa.
I use Facebook because all the old guys are on there, so I got to use it.
Oh, yeah. You got to use all the platforms. You got to utilize them all. So I'll put all Ben's links in the bottom. And, of course, J-Mac's links are always down there, too. So if you want to follow him, he just had a good video out on Dino and the Mustang. So go check that one out.
Don't forget to attach your Grinder profile, Chris.
Oh, yeah. Grinder will be down there. I'll also drop. You got to go back. You got to watch the Canadian Cash Days. So that'll be down there. And also, if you want some more history and in-depth information on Ben and the history of ProTreeVideos, we did what did we call that? I don't know. When we were driving back from Maryland, it was behind the wheel. Behind the wheel. Behind the wheel. Yeah, so I'll drop that down there. So if you guys want, there's a lot more in-depth detail on Guelph racing and ProTreeVideos and kind of the history to where it was. Yeah. So that'll be down there. So there's going to be a lot of shit in the comments on this one. So you'll have lots to watch after this.
There you go.
See you guys on the 23rd of April for our live Stick Talk episode 10. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.